Order members. Order members.
Thank you. Now,
I wanted us to contribute.
Order Kimani.
Nani?
Kimani order.
Ama 20 seconds. Kidogo
Kimani.
Wacha Nyota aseme chenye alikuwa nataka kusema. Nyota. Wengine tuendelee kutap. Let's go to 10K guys. Tupige hiyo screen to 10K.
There is something that I see dwindling in our politics, and this is democracy. And when I mean about democracy is the reason why we wake up and go and vote. And we vote believing this side of or this party have a better manifesto than the other. So that's the reason why we vote. Wengine wanashinda, wengine wanashindwa. Wenye wanashindwa, they become the opposition. Kazi yao ni kuangalia serikali inafanya nini. That's what you call democracy. Right now, we're in a situation whereby the opposition, one member of the opposition is the one now running the affairs of the country. Specifically, the finance post, Mr. Bandi. Mr. Bandi belongs to ODM. The ODM, the person who was reading the ODM, he was defeated. He's supposed to be the one now reading the opposition. Now, I want us to look at a scenario whereby Mr. Odinga is vying for the top post, the AU post. Let us look for a scenario whereby he'll not make it. Then Arudi Kenya, and he may want to vie for 2027 politics. Now, what will happen? Mr. Odinga will still require his foot soldiers, akina Mr. Badi. Will he be able to convince Mr. Badi to leave the finance post, the CS for finance, to come and support? Or how will it happen? Will Mr. Badi be still competing with the president, who will be Mr. Ruto then, whereas he's the finance minister of that government? Yeah. So we are in a political dilemma of even we don't know what will happen next, because there is a scenario whereby, okay, Mr. Odinga will try to vary his word and see, okay, let me not vie. But what will be looking at? He'll be looking at, why am I vying and I'm still the one who is running the government? Or is the seat of the president so much important than having to run the post of the finance minister of that country? You see, it is getting a little bit messy. Even we don't know now which way the country is going. So how can we redeem the democracy that we fought so hard to acquire? Kutoka enzi ya KANU, nchi ilikuanga na only one political party. Yeah? To sasa penye tumefika, how are we going to make sure that democracy works? Because right now it is not working.
Nyota, can I tell you something?
Yeah, go ahead.
We are not supposed.
Yeah, nakusikia.
To be worried what opposition does, because Kenya does not have opposition now. You are the opposition, you are the media, you are the people who are taking your destiny into your hands. I hope unanisikia vizuri. You are the people who are taking the destiny into your hand. You are the people who will determine the next government. You are the people who will run it. So whatever Mr. Raila and the opposition does should not worry as much. We should not even scratch our heads about it, because number one, if Raila has joined and worked with this government, we want to presume that he's already in government and there's no opposition. Again, amatafanya nini? We will treat Raila the same way we treat Ruto. We'll treat them as people who are in government and the people who we need to take home. So I think from that angle, you'll be able to you'll be able now to settle well properly, so that you are not worried to analyze what if nani amekuja, what if nani ameenda. So what's the most important thing is which team are you, and what are you doing about it? I think from there you'll able to have a clear path, and does just take it within heart. How much that Rudi Kenya, we should treat him as part of the government. Tunapiga Ruto with the same kiboko tutapiga Raila, irrespective whether alikula kidogo ama alikula sana ama alipeleka watu wawili tu serikali ama alipeleka watu wote, because this is now the room for transformation. This is the language we need to take forward, and so the language will be like this is us, this is our destiny, what are we going to do about it? How do we mobilize? How do we build team together from MCA to MPs to women representative to senator to governor and ultimately president? What are the gaps? How do we feel? So that is the discussion where I need to go, and that's why nikianza my first address nilisema, you guys, you need to know the rate of opposition. You need to know what opposition is doing, because oppositions are, especially ODM, in a gaslight what was central province, and in a gaslight other tribe, ionekane kama other tribes are fighting the central, wana fight what was central, ionekane kama au ndo napinga serikali. But even if we go by numerics, bado watu from central province bado wako wengi kwa serikali. Probably the next wale watu wengi ni majority ni central na watu wa Rift Valley. So as Gen Z, as progressive movement, that's not for us to worry about, because wala social jipanga, where do we go next? Now we need to know their tactics, divide and rule. That's the oldest trick in the book, as we know. Divide and rule will always be there. Will always be drive, and the most powerful weapon yenye wanaleta na bado nyinyi mna fall into it and very deeply without knowing. So
Thank you. Now, let me add. Can I say something? Kidogo dakika moja. Now, vile Tony anasema ni kweli.
Ruto is going home.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Ni kama connection ya Tony haiko sawa. Okay, nilikuwa nasema kitu kidogo ya kwamba vile Tony anasema it is true, and the best thing tunafaa kufanya ni kuwa strategically, vile tu nilikuwa nimeada hapo mbele. Then tujue tunahitaji kutuma out. Unaona mtu yote kwa leadership sahi tunafaa hafai kurudi pale. Hafai kuwa pale, anafaa kwenda nyumbani, wote wanafaa kwenda. Tunafaa kuleta breed mpya ya leadership. So it is upon us, even the youth. Kama unasikia vizuri, unaweza ongoza, usiogope, simama. Vile tu Morara anasema, simama, jaribu, kwa sababu tunahitaji kushughulikia watu wote wenye wako kwa uongozi, watu waondoke, tuone at least ama tunaweza fix hii country, because that is the best thing, because we don't have a country here. Hakuna kitu iko pande yetu, si pakoti, si polisi, sio DCI, sio serikali, sio wabunge, yani we don't have a country here. So it is upon us to fix it, na tutaanza na sisi ambao tuko hapa. Mambo ya tribe tuondoe vile akina Wambua anasema, to concentrate. Hata kanisa ikisema namna gani, because kama kuna kitu ilitupeleka ya shida, hata kanisa ilichangia sana. Na ndio unaona hata tukisema wasipatiwe pesa, these people wanapatiwa pesa na wanazichukua vizuri sana. Na unaona mpaka Mastigo anaenda anasema hapana, mimi nitatoa pesa, nitapeana, sijui kanisa sijego, and these people are just there na wako ready kuchukua pesa, na pesa wanajua vizuri ni pesa yetu ya wizi tu. So even the church, Mungu awasaidie sana. Sitaki kwenda hapo venye tumesema, sitaki kupitia hapo, but even the church, watu wametuangusha sana. Na mimi nikaulizwa, naweza sema tu venye Wambua amesema, na venye Devia hata kama ameexit alikuwa amesema, even it is upon us, si tuambiwe na wachungaji tupigie huyu kura. No, it is your vote, it is your choice. If you say it is this one, hakuna mtu anafaa kukuambia utaenda utapigia nani kura, because hata kanisa imetuwekea kwa shida kubwa sana. Because even sometimes I'm a Christian, and I know we have failed a lot. Tumepotea kabisa, na Mungu atusaidie sana. So guys, I'm hoping ya kwamba we will fix this country na
reconstructing the IBC, because when you have an IBC, it doesn't mean anything. Hata tufanye nini, when the IBC is not there, there's literally we are doing nothing as we speak. Yeah. So can we, first thing first, ni uwezo gani tuko nayo to restructure the IBC so that in the eventuality, even the president deciding to resign or something happen, how are we sure that everything will go right the way it's supposed to be without the IBC?
Okay, ni poa, nashukuru, natumai umeshinda vyema. Mimi kwa point ya IBC hapo, hii itabidi to force government itengeneze reconstruct IBC. Kwa sababu
how
kitenye tunaweza fanya kwa saizi juu ni kama hao hii serikali haisiwezi sikia mtu yoyote, chenye nafaa tutafanya itabidi in case to organize maandamano ya IBC. Hiyo tu mimi nilikuwa nafikiria, kwa sababu tukisema tunyamazie government, hii government inafanya kila kitu wakijua tu IBC haiko. Omona kwa mfano mtu kama Kimani Chungwa anaongea vitenya, anaongea juu anajua tu IBC is not there, is not existing. So exactly. Wako na hiyo proud ya kusema IBC haiko. So chenye tutafanya, mimi nilikuwa kwa mawazo yangu, itabidi either tutafanya maandamano ya kuhakikisha kwamba serikali imewajibika kutengeneza IBC, ndio at least Kenya mtu akifanya makosa atakuwa accountable, na kura yetu litafanya ya kuwa accountable. Kwa hiyo
nadhani ni kweli,
nataka kuondokea hapa naitwa Dabi Dawaki Tamwad, but niseme hapa, unless we push Nyota, unless we push for IBC, that's hiyo tu ndio tunaweza need constitution, unless we push, but if we wait by there tuwezi, hakuna kitu itafanyika. Anyway, thank you guys.
Exactly,
nataka kusema hivi
ni kweli wallahi. Hata mimi naongeza tu itofanya maandamano ya IBC peke yake.
Mimi na
hiyo tu mimi naongeza.
Suggestion yangu ni hivi You know, after the Genz demonstration, ilikula government kichwa sana. The two demonstrations ambazo zilikuwa successful zilikula government kichwa, and they also had to strategize on how to make sure that the subsequent any other demonstration ambayo inakuja na majenzi, they make sure that they foil it before it happens. So Ruto or Seven government has two headaches. Saizi wako na problems mbili. Kitu wanaogopa ni Gen Z na Mount Kenya, especially Mount Kenya West. Hiyo ndio inapea Ruto headache sahi. And the campaigns is doing now, you can see the president is on a campaign trail. Ameingia tu ameanza ku campaign. Hizi marali unaona anaenda, they are just campaigns because he wants to fix. And the only thing that is dangling na bado unaona bado na he has the power na ameshika parliament ni kuhakikisha kwamba amefinyilia issue ya IBC, because anajua once IBC is constituted and completely constituted, then he is done for. Anajua anybody can take advantage of that, and he will make sure that he keeps the issue IBC under wraps mpaka wakati ambapo anaona itamfeel. The only person ambaye akona ambaye anaweza make sure that IBC is brought into place is Raila Odinga. And this will happen. You know, right now he's just quiet because outcome ya nini ya AUC haijatoka. But if fortunately for us, if it happens that he loses the AUC seat, I'm telling you, Ruto will be forced to constitute the IBC. Otherwise, Raila will force him out. Because those are some of the things we're looking at. But for now, now that he has Raila by his side, the Gen Zs, I don't know. And he's also trying to divide the Gen Zs, just like he's trying to do the same with Mount Kenya. Unaona Mount Kenya is slippery. Now, instead of trying to divide Mount Kenya because anaona imekuwa ngumu, now he is kind of inciting other communities against Mount Kenya indirectly, and you can see it. So it's like it's inciting these other communities against Mount Kenya because maybe he has realized that his grip of Mount Kenya is gone and it is slippery. So he's doing that, and he's also doing that for the Gen Zs. He's trying to sponsor some youths. He's bringing out some bloggers, buying some bloggers to sell a narrative that is to the effect that Ruto's 2032 victory is inevitable. That's what hiyo ndio tunauziwa kila wakati. Hata ukiangalia this platform, even right now, angalia kwa comment section, kuna watu hapo wanatuambia kwamba Ruto hamuwezi. Yani hiyo like hiyo the narrative wanataka they keep on playing with mind games. Unajua, oh, this man is strong, nini is going to win. I mean 2032 hiyo it's a must for him. Nini asema sasa nani who will stand? Anajaribu kusema is it Kalonzo, is it no one will stand against him? He will vanquish anybody that stands against him, and 2032 is a sure bet for him and all that. So it's just nile anajaribu kusell hiyo mentality, kuuzia watu woga na ile nini kwamba, and even those who have some little of hope and gas to fight, if that keeps on playing, unaona ikitu bana, maybe we are fighting a losing battle. But he's a human being. Gaddafi fell. Al-Bashir, who was the strongest, fell. These strongest leaders we have known in this in the world fell. Who is he? Who is William Ruto? He will finally go down. So it's just a matter of time. And I want to agree with Wambui. Sometimes you also have to question our the essence of religion, because religion, somebody said, is an opium of the mind. And if it indeed is like an opium of the mind, then it should direct us to do the right things. But now, when you look at people, if politicians can go to an extent of using that same religion to lie to you, they go to a pulpit, they stand in a pulpit and lie to you, they stand in a pulpit and insult, and they even use, because I saw the other time, just last week, Aaron Cheruiyot, when they had a rally in Kericho, Aaron Cheruiyot is telling the clergy in Kericho, why are you not defending your government? To them, it's like the clergy, the bishops and pastors in Kericho don't believe in God. They should believe in president and tribalism. And so is like reminding them, why are you letting your son be harassed by the other religious leaders from the other tribes? Why not standing for your own? And you've seen the other day in Narok, there was a bishop that stood and was like telling the president that if those other guys have refused the money, bring it to us, So that is the problem, because Wambui, I understand where Wambui is coming from, because she looks at that and is wondering now.
So you want to tell us that
William
Ruto, the master of divisive politics, sasa ana divide kanisa. Uzikuwe kuna kanisa za mashambani, za maushago.
Yes.
Zenye zina support government, zenye hazit support government.
And that's what I'm saying. Wambui, I agree, because Wambui ni kama anaketi chini anaangalia asema, are these people reading from the same Bible? Because if they are reading from the same Bible, a Christian from Timbuktu and as a Christian for Accra, Ghana, should agree, because what guides them is the same Bible, the principles from the Bible. So when they agree on one thing, that they should not take politicians' money, because obviously, and everybody knows here that politicians' money is dirty. And somebody would question, we know the president earns 2 million. Where does he get the money that he keeps on splashing all over from one church to another? Like yesterday I saw a governor in Bungoma saying, donating 5 million to an SK church. And he actually announces, I said, this one is a donation from the president. So within a month, this
Yes.
guy is using over $1 million donating, over 100 millions in churches. Where does he get it? Look versus his own pay. So he is using the same taxpayers' money. And at the same time, we are told that the economy is not doing well. Where is this money coming from? You know. So if the church was that serious, we could not be where we are today. We are in this mess because of the church, and we can see. And right now, just like the work you've said.
I want we finish up, then we pass microphone to Dabi.
Yes,
so
yes.
that we can go.
Just like
to ask Alphonse a question before Ndembali.
Okay, Muli.
Because nataka ni avoid can you avoid can you go to platform idea on a point like this is where the problem is. I think it's a very good thing. We should be doing that, but more importantly, we should be looking at the solution of where we go. Like venye Alphonse akona point vizuri sana na uliza vizuri like why is Ruto getting this money and why is the church being used and being divided? So the thing is the other part of that angle, that observation should be, what are we doing about it? Should we unite with other church the way we force church to condemn what Ruto is doing, the biggest church, Catholic, SEK? Should we force their hand even to support a political candidate when that comes to when push comes to shove? Because we are now fighting for life and death for the survival of our country. Alphonse, how do you respond to that?
And then drop. Allow me the work. Let me respond to that, then drop. You know, if you want to know the mind of a politician and how greedy and senseless they are, look at Atwoli. Everybody here followed his interview the other day, and this is the same Atwoli that used to attack Ruto and talking of Miti Katwe and the staff and said, oh, Mwizi atabeba central bank kwa mgongo aende nayo. When Ruto won, this guy immediately switched allegiance and he started singing praises about Ruto and all that. Now, I am employed. I'm employed, and let me say one thing. I don't know if there is an employed person in this country who will ever miss William Ruto, because number one, since he came, he has kept on digging into our pay slips each and every year, each and every month. He comes with something that targets the pay slips. And once you do that, you are impoverishing people. You are affecting, because when I have a pay slip, there are a lot of people behind me. There's a family, there are relatives and all that I'm taking care of. And when he does that, he's actually affecting the people that are behind me. And if you look at Atwoli, Atwoli believes in money. And when he was even asked about the presidency, the possibility of Omtata's presidency, what did he say? He dismissed him on the account that, and he said something so that was so insulting of Kenyans. He said that Omtata is poor and no one wants to associate. No one wants to associate with the poor. No one. I just marked that word, and I don't know whether Kenyans heard that and took it serious. Atwoli said no one wants to associate with the poor. Now, how many poor people are in this country? There are so many, and they constitute the highest population of this country. And here is someone who has been eating with the politicians by singing praises to the politicians and the president of the day, saying that no one can ascend to power unless they have billions in their accounts. So that actually speaks to one thing, that you have to be corrupt. You have to use dubious means to amass wealth, so that you use that wealth to buy allegiance and other things. And that's, if we stand as the poor people like we are called.
Ukimalizia nataka tujaribu kuhesabu mwaka inakuanga na Saturdays ngapi, na every Sunday anapatiana 5 million.
So that is what I was saying. So that's it, my brothers and sisters.
Okay. Let me add there. The best way, in my mind, what we could have done, what we are supposed to do, is to do a strategy fight against the Ruto.
Okay.
That's
So
the only
200,
way.
so ni 200, 220 and 20 million mwaka, hiyo ndo inakuanga sadaka
Per year.
Ruto akitoa 5 million.
Okay. So mimi kwa mafikiro yangu,
Malizia pia dabe maisha. Twende kazi. We still got one more box, kama kuna mtu anataka kupanda anaweza tuma request. Twende kazi.
Nisa mimi kwa akili yangu ama kwa mawazo yangu chenye mimi ninaweza changia, the best way ever ni to fight against Ruto. That's the only best way. Tukisha fight against Ruto na to win kutoka kwake, hata Atwoli atatoka, because I'm wondering Atwoli anakaa kwa serikali yote kuanzia Moi, Kibaki, Uhuru, na bado wako kwa hii na bado atataka ingine. Kwani ni yeye peke yake ana handle Kenya? So we must fight against Ruto. After we have succeeded Ruto, hakuna mtu anaweza control Kenya venye anafikiria. Tutakuwa tuna control Kenya at least kwa manufaa ya mwananchi wa yule wa kawaida, and that will be the best way. Thank you.
Mimi niko na swali
kidogo. Dabi.
Hey bana, nimekuwa patient bana. Okay. Now I think we'll have to go. Okay. I hope mesalimika. I think we'll have to go back. I think so many steps back. Mali mliniachia huko kwa ABC. And kuna mtu aliuliza, how can we make sure IBC imeingia kwa ofisi? Because we have tried almost everything, but it seems bado mambo haingiani vizuri. So one thing, like according to the few info nime collect from reading and observing politics, I think kuna mistrust when it comes to Ruto and Raila. Those guys, even if right now they seem to be working together, they don't trust each other. They don't really trust each other. Ni kama wezi wawili wameka kwa sorry for that. Ni kama wezi wawili wameka kwa nyumba moja, and kila huyo mmoja anaogopa mwingine amuibie. So that's what happening. If you look at ile kusaini kwa ABC something, I don't know ilikuwa nini ilisainiwa pale KCC by Rao, Ruto, Kalonzo, Rigathi and everything. After signing it, temnye ilisemekana inaingia parliament, it didn't even move an inch. And if you ask them, if they are really working together, IBC ingekuwa sahi kwa ofisi. Why? Because ilikuwa Ruto alete watu wake, Rao alete watu wake, wafix IBC. But I think as in kila mtu amehold like his own card, as in karibu, like they don't want to pull their cards zote kwa table. Why? Because they don't trust each other if they can move together until 2027. There's someone who said that Rao pia anangoja sana AUC, because that's the only, I think the first tick seme at least Ruto made a promise na fulfill. So if he fails again, everyone knows this, Rao might come back again and also aingie tena kwa siasa tena, and he will fight the government. Maybe after may fail, ama maybe few months before the next election. So when you look at hizo kadi, why the IEBC iko mahali kwa hewa imehang, because no one wants to, because if Ruto allows Rao akwenda mkono kwa IEBC kutakuwa na vita when it comes to pale mbele kwa election. So everyone anataka kuwa na mkono na kuena the most number of people wenye wako pandia kwake wenye wanaingia ofisi ya IEBC. That's why like sahi kuna kaa hivyo story na IEBC. Now, how can we fix this? Let's go back to what made Ruto, Rao, they go and sign the bill IBC and all those nonsense. Now, ni Genz walifanya. Maandamano ilifanya. So, watu walipiga kelele nini, you know, we want the finance bill down, IBC yeke kwa nini, and everything. And hiyo yote ilikuwa pushed by Genz, but not the political class. That's number one. But now again, tuli push through what? Tuli push through maandamano kwa street, bloodshed, deaths and everything. Now, let's go back to the same Mandamano again. Mandamano, we did it the best. It was like one of the best things that ever happened in this country. Na ilikuwa na so many goodies ilikam with it. Although bado, we need more. But now, huyu fala, aitwa Ruto, the guy, I think master the whole Mandamano thing. Akaka security, akaleta Subaru boys, sasa kuna abductions, kuna watu tatu juu wanatoka wapi, they are all covered. So, amesikia watu tena kwa maandamano. The last few maandamanos like zimekuwa zikipangwa, most probably hazijakuwa zikihappen like as in kama the June one, zimekuwa kidogo hapa na pale and everything. But now I think we need to change the easy tactics za maandamano. We can't go then to organize tena tuseme we are going back kwa maandamano the same way we have been saying tunaenda kwa maandamano. Okay, here's my thinking. I think how we can do it best. Ruto is back kwa ground. Ameanza kelele za ground. Amerudi kwa ground kwa kupigia tu kelele. But one thing that we have always and we will always win with, it's online activism. So kwa ABC, I feel like we should decide tukuwe na siku fulani ama siku kadhaa in a week whereby we can be pushing hashtags za form IBC ama we want IBC back in office. We can do that on TikTok. In every post unaeka form IBC. Just let it trend on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. Whoever the person ana post, as in Kashagu a post, Uhuru a post, whoever will post, any politician, hapo chini yake tunasema form IBC. Let that thing it trend, even if, like, you know, I saw on Twitter, Occupy Parliament, time ilikuwa inaenda, like, we went all the way to 10 million posts trending. So if we can push IBC to 10 million or even 5 million, both on Twitter and IBC, I think we can win this war. Because if it trend evil, the media will pick it from there. Because media, you picking something.
Let me guide you. Hii kitu ya IBC kokotini. And ndo maana, hii kesi unaona, ndo maana watu wanashindwa the way forward. Hata muoni, hata wanasiasa wizungumzi. Last time.
Let me comment on that, Dawa. And I want people to understand this. Ruto ni mtu kajifanya very kajanja sana. If mnakumbuka story ya finance bill, ilikuwa kwa koti before tutete. Iliishi kwa koti, msisahau. Finance bill ilikuwa kwa koti na zilianza mapema all the way to time before after election. So Ruto is using each and every channel kutufunga macho. So many cases za gava ziko kwa koti doesn't necessarily mean ni za wananchi, mnafaa kujua hivyo. Ruto ndo wanazisponsor, zina delay, like wakiangalia one mood of iko juu, they stop it using court ndio mtulie, then they measure again waangalie venye mali like your anger level mali imefika, then they bring it back. Wakisikita tena mmejam, they take it back to court. So no one should lie to you historia koti ni mtu fulani ameyeka koti. No one should lie to you. Most probably inaweza kuwa the same government wanaweka kwa koti so that it can come when they need it ikuje kwa wananchi ndio mtulizwe. But if today we wake up, we push for it, hiyo koti wataamka asubuhi hii kitu imalizie. Like finance bill tulifanya hivyo, all those story na koti zote zilianguka. Adani, the same thing will happen. In fact, no one went to the street like because of Adani. It was online activism. Na imeshikwa koti, sijui koti, but ilifika mahali hata koti yenyewe ikachoka. And it had to be released, na ikatoka. So guys, msiwahi nyamaza, muambiwe ati mmekuwa asubuhi mmesema iko juu, like you guys activism then baadaye. No one should lie to you. Kome is in bed with Ruto. No one should lie to you guys. Mother Kome is one of the useless people I know in this earth. Easy court, no one should lie to you guys. The same court wanapeangwa pesa, and you guys, you know that. These judges, they the same government. So I'm Kenny guys. Let's make it trend. Push it. Atoki amka asubuhi upige picha ukiwa mahali kwa shamba hapo eka chini. Any hashtag to push the IBC kuwa formed. That's the only way that Ruto anasikizanga, because ikitrend inakuwa picked by the media inatangaza, watu kwa mashamba wanajua, and it goes. Because if we say we'll go down as in kwa grao to push for this thing, most probably we won't reach like watu wengi. But if we do it online, we can have so many people knowing about this thing. Now we expose the government. I think that's my best solution on IEBC. I'll stick here and comment on other things in zitakuja. Thank you.
I think that's the best way ever. Hiyo naye, that's the best way. Kwa sababu hiyo lazima sasa kuanzia leo tuanze kupush na at least let's cooperate.
Hello guys, order. Rukenya, you had a question? Rukenya?
Niko na swali to Dabi.
Okay, Tony, Rukenya then Tony. Rukenya?
Ilikuwa hiyo story ya IBC because sijui nani alisema hapa akasema lazima Rao sijui afanye nini. Sasa my question ilikuwa, what if mse hata akufe? That means hatutakuwa na IBC. As a Kenyans, we cannot decide by ourselves. That was my question.
Okay, that's a good question.
Todi, ulisaneko nikujibu. I think Tony had a question for me. Uliza, nikujibu Tony, before you proceed.
Tony, unmute. Quit. Any others for a question?
Okay, as I prepare, let me answer Rukenya on ABC. My thinking, yes, Rukenya, you are right. History ya kusema sijui we are waiting for mtu fulani atusaidie, we are waiting for mtu fulani atusaidie. Unajua ukiamka asubuhi like feel like life ni ngumu, ungojangi mtu akuje kusaidia. You either kneel down, pray, and even after kneeling down you'll have to go and work. So I think we should not wait for anyone. Rao or whoever the person, by the way, he can die, he can go up at AUC at okay. He's a traitor. We know him. Umse anakuanga busy. We have seen it anakuwa busy. So we can't wait for a broker to come and help us. Okay? So ni sisi we push because we understand the pain that we are going through right now. So we push for this thing until we have it. Tusingoja anyone like to come and help us. Thank you.
Hello. Hapo naweza ongeza to that question alikuwa ameuliza whether we must wait for the president to, so we can't do it yani sisi wenyewe. Normally what happens is the president who appoints the commissioners. But now the issue is he's at liberty to delay it because it's like court yenyewe, he cannot force him to do it. Haya. There was a time when kulikuwa na hiyo shida about Kibaki and Raila when they were contesting, and they had to sit both of them waelewane, because first of all, if Ruto does it sahi, itaka is like already ni watu wanachagua wenye watamsaidia, then maybe kuriga ama kuwini 2027. Now the person who they are supposed now to come wakae chini na yeye, they waelewane, they come to consensus of who are these commissions are. He's Mr. Raila now. And Mr. Raila, he's the one who's supposed to be on the opposition. Now, we don't know in 2027 whether Raila will still be in the opposition. We have Badi now, he's a CS of finance. Who knows even whether he'll vie? Now, until now we get somebody, mtu kama Gachagua, tujue sama Gachagua maybe atakuwa aki-contest, ama mtu kama Matiang'i. Now, they can be able now to sit down, waseme, okay, these are the people now we have. Let us nominate these people. Yes, because tunaona yes, they are neutral. Hakuna mtu ako hii side or the other side. But for now, there is nobody. Why? Because there is no opposition. So when we say whether must we wait for him, it's like we don't have an alternative.
But nyota ukikumbuka nini finance bill, watu waliungana na wakatoka barabarani, na si lazima watu watoke barabarani.
Yeah. But either way or the other, even if we force him, he is the one who is going to nominate the commissioners. Yes, the only thing that the parliament will do is maybe to vet. But look at the parliament, yeah, who are vetting and who is nominating. They are on the same side.
Nyota.
So either is like, yeah.
Let me ninge kidogo. Let me ninge kidogo disagree naye kidogo, because right now the president ndo akona mkono kila kitu. So even if sai hakuna unga and we andamana tuambie president atupee unga, also akona nguvu ya kutuwekea sumu kwa hiyo unga tukufe. But does that mean because ni yeye atatuletea unga that we should sit down and wait until ile siku ataamua tuletea unga? No, the same thing that happened to ABC. Yes, we know akona power ya kuchukua watu wake, yeah, kufix. Yes, we can do that. Like we can't wake up to tweke watu wetu hapo. We know that. We know that. We know ana control judiciary. We know that. We know all these things. But swali ni, are we going to sit down and wait for him to prepare all those things by himself? Not really. So how do you do it? If we have this online activism, my brother, itafanya plan zake alikuwa amepanga azitaenda according to time and date. So he will be pushed and in hurry to pick the people that anafikiria they will rig the election with. So most probably atakuwa na higher chances of making a mistake. Okay? And we want to capitalize on his mistake. When you are pushed to do something, even if you're going to do kunikana power yanko, you have the high chances of doing the mistake. So as we want the mistake to happen, we want the mistake, we want to trigger things to happen in this country. We want to trigger, even if it is 27, achuza watu wa regulation tukiona. We want to trigger that. We want to him to afanye. Those are mistakes that you're looking for. So we won't sit down to say, okay, lazima yeye hata tukimpusha chague ni hata chagua. So which is better? Kumungoja achague time anajisikia akae chini avet wase all the years anajisikia avet, ama ni tuingie tumforce achague watu yenye ako na high chances of making a mistake. I go for the option B.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And to add on your point just before we close it, perhaps maybe the only person who will spearhead the reconstitution of the IBC will be the one now contesting with him for 2027, and he'll be the one who will help us to reconstitute the IBC. So, if Matiang is to vie for 2027, this is the time for them to stand, and they can stand on that platform of reconstituting the IBC, because they are the one now who will make a deal with the IBC. Not a deal, actually, they'll come into consensus with Mr. Ruto on who will be spearheading and overlooking our election. So we need the person to start with. We cannot do it alone. We need the person to start with right now. Atufikishe mpaka hapo kileleni, ndio sasa waangaliane na Ruto when appointing those commissioners.
Okay, Nyota, utaniruhusu tu. I'm really trying to take like other people's time. Utaniruhusu tu, but guys, just allow me talk. Nyota, I disagree again. I think I'll almost disagree with everything you will say. Because Nyota, unasema we need someone. Nyota, I ask again. If finance bill tungekaa chini tuseme we need Matiang'i to come and help us in finance bill, ingeanguka. If finance bill ingekuwa hapo, no, relax bro. Let me
on the contrary. On the contrary, what I'm saying is, for us to epuke that scenario of him appointing commissioners all by himself, it would be better off if we had somebody who we know he's the one who is going to be competing, challenging him for 2027.
Let me help you, David.
Because
thank you, Amboy.
Because nimekuelewa what you want to say. Not what you are saying. The moment we keep relying on someone else, so tunasema hivyo tu goje tu mtu atokee hivi aseme ati kwamba I'm the one contesting against Ruto and then I'm the one who is going to the IBC. For me, apana, that mindset we are done away with. The moment we are waiting for a savior outside of ourselves, tutashinda hapo. Sorry?
Hapo ukweli kabisa. In fact, and towards something even, Nyota, in fact, we are using even bad examples. Telling us people like Matiang'i here, that's even a bad example.
Kwanza hapo, manze.
No. I was saying, actually, we need a reader. Yes, a reader. A reader who will.
I think Nyota, hizi ndio tunatufanya tukue behind. Kwa sababu tunategemea mtu atuokoe. You know, but we can push it.
Point. Anyway, let's do this. Kama unataka kutokea, fanya hii reconstitution ya IBC, kuja uonge nasi, sema tupatie the way forward. Come, let's discuss here and then come up with something and we'll do it. Yeso ya hashtag iko moto sana. Let's come and discuss. Nani alisema hivyo? Kuja uinject, tujue tunaanza lini na tunafanya lini. Ni hapa ndo tunafanya reforms. It's here on our online platforms, as Dabi has said. Usigoje mtu mwingine, and never wait, even in your life, never wait for an external savior to save you. You are the savior of yourself and your whole life. Hey, bana.
Hello. Sijui kama naweza pata opportunity niongee kiasi.
Ni yako alafu upatie mtandao. Ni yako nafasi.
Aya, okay. So, hii platform ni poa sana. Nimekuwa nikisikia for a while. But, hapa hivi, nyinyi wote mko more or less on the same team. Sijasikia dissenting voice hapa. Mimi for one, mimi ni supporter wa Ruto. Na government yake na governance yake. So, hizi vitu mimi nasikia mkisema hapa. Nashindwa end game yenu ni gani mkibase na reality, kwa sababu we are not in a utopia. Naona there is no place Madam Wambui where government in a run ni inafanya vitu vile zinafaa. Government in itself as an institution, you cannot do away with it. In itself ni corrupt, in itself ni corruption yote. So the moment ushakuwa tuna kitu naitwa government, whereby it's a people selecting a people to oversee the affairs of those people. Already our select few, the whole thing is just corrupt from the core, the concept in itself. Na tuko katika capitalistic kind of setup na vitu kama hizo. So, hii kitu nasikia mkiongea hapa, nikisikia mtu kama Nyota akiongea, nasikia mtu kama Dabi anaongea. It is so selfish of you guys to come up na ideas kama hizi. Like, do you know what the consequences of some of hizi vitu mnasema zitakuwa? Juzi mlikuwa na protest hapa hivi ya vijana wadogo.
Let's answer you as we go.
Nataka tumwachie Dabi. Wambo, wacheni tumwachie Dabi huyo. Wacha malize tumwachie Dabi. Dabi amejio.
Sawa. So, mimi nasema hivi. Juzi hapa hivi tulikuwa na story ya Genz, vijana wadogo wenye hata hawana historical data ya venye vitu zimekuwa zikifanyika. So wana make decision na the moment, wanataka vitu zifanywe kulingana na venye wameona vitu at the moment, as if hivyo ndo venye life you work. But then kwa hiyo protest, vijana hata kama tuseme tuweke minimum, tuseme hata kama ni vijana 3 walikufa, is it really worth it? Unaona? So mimi tunataka kuambia ni hivi. Wakati mko na hizi idea zenu za anarchy, venye mnataka vitu zifanyike venye nyinyi
mnataka, minimum 3 hapo uko wapi?
No, nataka kukuambia hivi. Imagine tu tuseme hypothetically, because tunajua wale watu wame lose lives ni wengi sana, wale watu wamekuwa affected ni wengi. Nataka tu kukuambia hata kama tu ni watu 3 wangekuwa wamededi, haingekuwa worth kitu mnataka. Unanielewa? So mimi nataka tu discuss politics hizi tukiwa based na reality that number 1, we are not living in a utopia. Tuko katika world, tunaishi na watu wengine, tuko na systems zina run. For instance, hata kama unataka overhaul system yako yote ya governance, how will you bring whatever now you want katika system ya kama capitalism? Naona? So as for me, mimi nawasikia mkiongea, nasikia mko na ideas zinaka progressive in quotes, but ni anarchist in nature, na hakuna kitu itatusaidia nayo. And by the way, governance ya Ruto si mbaya kuliko governance ya presidents wengine tumekuwa nao. No, so kama presidents wengine
wana bro maliza. No, bro maliza. Thank you.
Daddy, go in, guys. You don't have to listen to everything that someone says. Go in.
So
Wamboi wacha amalize, alafu atuambie benefits zenye atakuwa nazo.
Nimemaliza.
Zenye umeona Ruto amefanya, as in maybe sisi hatujui.
Kuna Kenya amesema kuna hizo ninamuuliza haizi kujibu already, hizo alijibu akianza kuongea. So let me just go in with
Kwaro. Jibu hivi?
No, usijibu Kwaro. Ushajibu. Ulisema you are a supporter of Ruto na the government. So there's nothing unaweza jibu about ubaya wake honestly. So you can't answer anything. So Kwaro, afungua mic. Naomba tusiane, tusiongee maneno mingi, slowly by slowly.
Yes,
okay?
Yes.
So umesema that hakuna serikali mzuri, that the whole serikali like dunia mzima yuko mbaya, the whole system yuko mbaya. You just said it, unless you want to take back your words. True or false?
True.
Thank you. Sasa. Now, because serikali zote zimekuwa mbaya globally, so that means people should should sit down and die and watch like the government do whatever they want to do with them and die, right? Sindio?
Yeah, the strong do what they can, the weak do what they must.
Which is a strong? You're answering swali sijakuuliza, bro. I'm talking about the strong, and I'm asking. So the citizens should sit down, the government imekuwa voted in, the government will...
Hello? Hello?
Hey, we can hear you.
Hello?
I think Dabi. Yeah, Dabi.
I'm
Okay.
So I'm saying, so we should sit down and watch the government ifanye kenye itafanya. Si ndio?
Yes.
Thank you. So, nikisema auji, like, what's the meaning of a serikali ama government? Will I be wrong?
Acha tuseme for purposes of continuity ya conversation, niseme utakuwa wrong. Seme tu utakuwa wrong.
So si continuity nataka akili yako, si continuity.
No,
will I be wrong?
Yes or no?
Ya
government. Uko wrong.
Okay. Now, what's the meaning of government? Now, what's the meaning of government?
Kugovern ni kuregulate. The word government comes from the word govern, which is to regulate.
Regulate
so for context ya venye basically tuseme resources za particular land ama particular people. That is the purpose of a government, to regulate,
for the benefit of
ama
who?
Control, ama manage. Now,
just answer me. For the principle, make it short. For the benefit of who? For the benefit of
the
who?
principle on paper is for the benefit of its citizens. On paper, it's
on
for
paper.
the benefit of its citizens. Yes, on paper. But in actuality, it is for the benefit of the strong of the land, ama wale watu wako na power, of which saizi inakuwa determined na finances.
Okay, so we have our own meaning of government, not the one that we know, right? Sindio? So we allow the government Iran according to their own meaning, according to their own powerful people. And we sit down to say, okay, sawa, let's do it with the paper, let them have their own definition of government. So that's what you're saying, Sindio? No, just like
kitu kama hiyo. Okay,
kitu kama hiyo. No, we are going slow by slowly.
Okay, sawa, tuseme yes, that is what I want. Yes, that is what I want.
Umesema yes. Now, will I be right if I call you stupid in a respectful way? Because when you go to school, a good example like farming, you go to read how to farm. Okay? Hata kama kwenda shule, unafunzangwa how to farm. And now you have to follow kenye ulifunzwa how to farm for the plant to grow na upate fruits. Sindio? That's saying you are following whatever you have been taught. The meaning of farming and how to do it better. Now, what if ufunzwe how to farm and you go back to your own land? Now useme, I'm not going to follow the real meaning of farming. I'm going to do my own things. Are you qualified to be called stupid?
Not necessarily.
The answer is yes. Now, whatever you are saying, allow me say
no.
You are stupid in a respectful way. No, let me finish it. Let me say this. You are stupid in a respectful way because you want to live in your own head, following your own feelings and what you believe is power and government. And us, we want to follow what the meaning of government and what's supposed to do. Thank you, my brother.
Kwaro, nikuulize swali, I have a question, kulikuwa na maumau, right? Haikuwa inamaanisha ati watu wote wenye walienda kupigania freedom wali survive, some they died, right? And you are where you are today because uko na freedom mpaka ya speech. Hata wenye wamekufa, wenye walikufa juzi, Genz wenye walikufa juzi waliacha legacy. Damu yao itaishi kikumbukwa because they were fighting for me and you. Ukuwe na better life. Hii government una support, sioni unless utueleze vizuri wamekufanyia nini. Ni nini umeona difference kuliko hiyo government ingine? Swali time ya Moi, me I remember very well, nilikuwa naenda Mombasa na sijaiona barabara ikiwa na mashimo kama shamba. Right now tunatumia barabara smooth. Since Ruto aingie kwa government, hakuna Kenya amefanya. The only thing ni kutenga na kuiba na kukopa na kutravel. Unajua watu wanakufa, anaua watu wengine hata wajaenda barabarani. Watu wangapi wameshikwa barabarani saizi wameadaptiwa? Watu wangapi saizi, ni watoto wangapi saizi wameuliwa? Wasichana wangapi saizi? Hakuna security. Na bado unasaidia government surely.
Moja tu, mbili. Uko na healthcare. Huyo support wa Ruto. Is it you Kwaro? Uko na healthcare?
Mimi niko Kwaro.
Okay.
Unauliza kama nimesubscribe hiyo SHA na no sina.
Hauna healthcare? Okay. Alafu mtoto wako akifika university utahave kulipa new funding model yenye ni 100k plus. Okay. Na hiyo ilikuanga ina happen before?
No, iko ina happen from
NHIF na walikuanga na school fees ilikuanga kama 16k hapo. So sahi uta have to go through that. Na uta have to vaccinate ng'ombe zenyu huko kwenye mnaishi kwa sababu supposedly they are fatting, okay? Alafu unatetea mtu mwenye anakufanyia hizi vitu zote juu unajua kuna watu utaita harambee waanze kuomba pesa wa kuchangia hizi vitu zenye zinafaa kuwa provided by your government. Hadi hapo tuko sawa? So alafu niambie mbona unatetea Ruto?
Kwa sababu
Kwaro hi, mtandao hii hi.
Poa sana bro.
I'll tell you what, first of all, I do admire your calmness and your listening, which is good. You know, that's something I give to you. And well done for that. Cheki, umesema Genz wako na experience, ndio. And by the way, Dennis, thanks for this platform. You know, I like when people come with the facts and everyone's big opportunity to speak. So, again, thank you. Okwaro, so umesema Genz wako na experience sana, sivyo? Now, see, I hate comparing nations, but allow me to do two things. Number one, have you heard of Barack Obama, right?
Yeah.
He became a president without any relevant politics. You've heard of Akina Tom Mboya? Correct? You know, these are people that didn't have any relevance in politics, not relevant, about experience. You've heard, let me bring you home. You've heard of Babu Wino?
Yeah.
No, I want to use Jalas, but anyway, let me talk to Babu Wino. So, normally in politics, we want to bring change. It's not about experience, it's about passion. I don't know how old you are, but have you heard of Arab Spring?
Yes.
Right.
I was very much present.
Right. Do you know who ignited that? Do you know who ignited that?
Yes, kulikuwa na protesta moja Algeria mwenye alijiset on fire kwa sababu the high cost of living.
Turkey, correct. Turkey. Kijana tu kama wetu. Happen experience. Now, because of him, it started that protest. Okay, let me close at home in Sudan, which it's not good news, but anyway, you know the leader of the revolution. Do you know the lady? I don't know if you saw the pictures. So what I'm going to tell you is, it's not about experience. It's about passion. It's about being brave. It's about being selfless. So don't look at experience when it comes to bring change. Change begins with you. What's an experience, Buddha? Okay? And lastly, Dennis, if you allow me, I like what you guys are talking about here. I make podcast. Now, tomorrow I'll be hosting Professor Gideon Wigai. Those who will be present or those who have time, you can join me tomorrow as from 3:45 p.m. Kenyan time. That will be live on Facebook as from 3:45 p.m. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, so
thank you. Let me guys, wacha ni hype hiyo kitu guys. We'll be there guys. Hata mimi nitaenda kusupport mtandao kesho. I'll be there hiyo saa 9. If mtandao not sitakuwa nimefika, make sure you call me. Najua nikikuja hapo wataona niko live kwako and people will join, especially people from my platform. I would like them to join there. Tuko na mengi sana tunaweza uliza Gedhu Muigai, right?
So neza like niongee kuhusu hizo vitu mingi zimesemwa, nijaribu kupiki kidogo. Unfortunately sikukuwa kwa position ya kuandika vitu ndio ni nini, so naweza kosa kutackle vitu zingine. But now number one, majorly Kenya nasikia watu wanatry kuniambia ni wanataka ni wapointie like uzuri ya government ya Samoe, uzuri ya hii government, of which it is very interesting that unaweza taka track record 2 years in, considering that voting patterns zetu za Kenya mtu anapatiwa term ya 10 years. So that speaks highly to mi. Ukiduliza personally, I think kuna hypocrisy hapo hivyo inacheza juu. Hata hizo track records unaanza kunipointia za mtu kama Uhuru ni vitu zimefanywa na 10 years, na tunajua vizuri sana the first 5 years ya government ya Uhuru ilikuwa so chaotic. Not to say, nimesikia watu wengi sana wakitry wakiblame Samoei, wanasema yeye alikuwa reason, but uzuri yote tena baada the same time inarushwa Uhuru. So tunafaa tuseme hivi, if hii track record Uhuru wako nayo amepatia na 10 years, then if I counter your argument and tell you mbona Ruto asipatiwe 10 years then tumjudge after hiyo 10 years, na wacha niachane na hiyo. Brothangu dadao, no, just wait. Brothangu ambaye ni mtandao varsity, I think kuna kitu kunielewa, kuna mali ya kunielewa ni hapa mali nilisema hivi. Genz walikuja wakaanza protest yao, wana protest against bad governance, but hawakukuwa na historical data ya kujudge ile kitu wanadu. Sikiza
because ya nini ya finance bill.
Hata wale Ruto hajaiamini Genz ni wao walijipeleka. Up to date Ruto believes that Genz were sponsored.
No. Nipatieni nafasi tafadhali. This is what I'm saying. Wamona finance bill inaongeza taxes, finance bill inaongeza nini, finance bill inafanya nini, so many limitations zinawekwa, watu wanazidi kufinyiwa, so watu wanasema hapana tujisikii na hiyo kitu without understanding the historical Shiny, nilete charge yangu hapo please.
No, tulie Kwaro.
Nilete charge ya simu yangu hapo please.
So Kwaro says Genz wangejua historical data, but aguzili historical data ni kama atana atuingiza kwa mawingu. Then he goes ahead and says angejua finance bill imefanya hivi na hivi. I'm waiting atuambie historical data na finance bill and how to handle it, but ajui. So this guy just saying words for the sake of saying words. Nina nyuma, by the way.
Debbie, I want to depose Kwaro right away. I cannot wait. Mimi niko na sira mob. Kwaro, number one, it's very hypocritical for you to say that watu wanatoka kwa street because of lack of historical context. Number one, you're wrong. Because even if you go by basic standards, anybody akona right ya kwenda kwa street kama kwa grievance zake, it doesn't need a context or a historical data. That is if we go to just by the normal standard. Number two, protest has been in Kenya since 1982. Hadi kuika kuwa any protest has been there. So na tunajua successive protest ilifanya hadi tukakuwa na 2010 constitution. Some people paid heavy price. Kuna wale watu kuna marks hadi sahi. That means society may progress through some action through the street. Now, you coming today say that a group of young people wale walikaa maisha kwa chokesha. And in fact, if you know politics very well, if you sincerely know politics, you will know that the finance bill is not the thing that repeleka watu kwa street. Everything in this government was failing. The youths were becoming hopeless. Now they found a fodder, at least where to engage the government directly. Then they went on the street and they exercised their right, which is protected, whether it has context or not. Now it's very hypocritical for you to come tuambie ati government ina run this way na tunafaa tuiache space if action this way. Government is by the people for the people. You do not underestimate collective conscience of a group of fools. If 50 million fools may decide this government is no longer tenable, they are right. Irrespective of how good English or more sophisticated you think, they may be wrong. But if 50 fools may unite together for a cause, and they want to remain in their collective foolishness, they are right. So I want to challenge from that angle. So that's what, from the foundation of your argument, you know, challenge from the word beginning. Then you are wrong to assume that what will end up a street because of lack of historical context. You may be right, maybe. You may be right in this way, Useme. This is what Wangianza could argue about. This is what they could have wet in street instead of that one. But that one will be now argue about semantic and what should the dog and the cat, which should come first. But just to say blanketly that people are wrong or it's not worth it, remember revolution are watered by blood. And you know very well from history how revolution successively from the time they were. So I want to challenge the foundation of your argument from the word go. You are wrong.
Na mimi nitauliza, alisema hata sikuuliza. Huyo Ruto alisema 100 days atakuwa amefanya vitu fulani, amezifanya. Na kwaro, wacha nikuambie, dalili ya mvua ni mawingu. Si mvua inaanzanga, ni mawingu inaanzanga. If for 2 years hajafanya chochote, tunakubalianaje na yeye miaka 10 atakuwa amefanya chochote?
Niko na right ya kuongea.
You might want to respond to
kama Dabi ana feel ni kama mimi nimekuja hapa hivi ku disrupt conversation, but the reason as to why nilikuwa niingia hapa ni kwa sababu hizi platforms mingi watu wanaongea siasa, hakuna hiyo side nyingine ya story. So mnatengeneza story, mko nyinyi wenyewe, mko na idea zenu na mnaendelea, unajua ni vitu tu mko nyinyi wenyewe kwa wenyewe.
Why should we involve you?
This is why you should involve me. Why you this is why you should involve me.
Wewe msetoka hapa bana.
Pole pole tu. This is why you should involve.
Thank you. Go.
Our time, Koro is wasting our time, our imagination, and abuse wale watu walikufa kwa street, wale watu walisacrifice their time. It's a waste of our collective intelligence.
Yani mse amekuja akasikia watu wanapeana problem and solution, akaamua aturudisha aanze kudunga wa Kenya kwa vifo.
Akona na hidden agenda, amekuja kudistract.
Acha tueleze hiyo story ingine ni masubaru zinabeba watu huku kote, watu wanaanguka huko kwa mahospitali na shift, na watu wame drop out university juu ya funding model, na watu wanapewa fake fertilizers, na sahi GMO ni legal. Ndio the other side of the story. I hope it makes you happy. Otherwise, hii side ingine ya story ya vile kutoa hizo vitu zote zenye zimeletwa, that is the point. Otherwise, ndio the other side of the story. Hauna healthcare, hauna education, hauna agriculture, hauna na ngombe. Yani, that is the other side of the story. So, vile kusotio story, ndio the point here. Okay? Tumelewana? Hatutakaa hapa tudanganyane, na kuna linda mama, na unangoja kutuomba harambee December. Hao ndio watu, harambee, nataka kupeleka mtoto India. Nataka kupeleka mtoto university.
Ako na good intention.
Umse sije argument zake zikoaje? Kwani in every talk lazima kukuwe na opposing and proposing side. Sisi wote tunaweza katu tusemenye government iko mbaya. Okay, hata kama lazima kuwe na opposing and watu wana agree ama disagree. Sasa wewe unaweza kuja hapa argument yako ya kwanza ni kusema nyinyi watu you don't need to go to the street hata hizo deaths zilikuwa necessary. What the fuck is this person telling us, manze?
Na yeye anafanya nini hapa kwenye hatutaki kusikizwa? Si amekuwa akisikiza?
Sijui kazi yao ni kuogopa. They keep
Hapana, I think ni mfuasi wa Ruto, ametumwa na Ruto kudestroy. Kama hii ni Dawati aliyeka hapa, huyu nani amesemaje? Ruto amesemaje? Muache kushinda mkiongea huko mitandaoni. The same way ni kutumwa ametumwa.
Na huku mitandaoni ndio tulianzisha the biggest protest ever seen in Kenya. The biggest protest ever seen in Kenya was born out of social media. Mwache kutuambia social media.
One of the reasons we're saying Ruto should go, it's very clear.
Kutengeneza poster za kuchangia watoto school fees mkiteteanga hiyo funding model. Anzeni kutengeneza posters za kuchangia watoto wa kwenda India healthcare kwa sababu tumemaliza kila hospitali na tuko na shift. Anzeni kabisa, mnatetea vitu zingine zenye hatutawachangia. By the way, harambee zitaisha hii nchi kama mnatetea hizi mavitu. Kama mnatetea mtu wenyu awatoe kwa hiyo floods hatutashinda. Unatetea uongo alafu unaanza kufanya watu wengine waanze kukuchangia wewe. Disemba tunawajua, tushawaona watu wa kutetewa, sijui mtoto ende India juni kama hakuna hospitali Kenya. Wewe new funding model, hizo school fees hatutachanga. Kama tumedecide tutatetea kwani kuna hiki tunaitwanga Stockholm syndrome yenye you fall in love with your abductor. Like ni kama unaweza bebwa na kidnapper alafu you start having sympathy for them and then you like fall in love. Hiyo ndio Wakenya wengi, kuna a section of Wakenya wenye they fall in love with the colonizers. They fall in love like sasa sahi tunatetea oppression. Kuna kuangana hiyo syndrome. It's a syndrome across everyone. Na msidhani sanye we are fighting for this fight how watu wako. Lakini how colonizer sympathizers wenye watashinda wametuomba hapa maharambee za hizo funding model. How colonizers sympathizers no tumesema this is where we put a stop to it. We know that's how things have been happening. We just go to a tribal cocoons Waluo watafanya hivi sijui nini, na tumesema inaishia hapa ndio tumeweka full stop. Ushaiona full stop? Ukiweka full stop uendeleange na hiyo sentence inaishianga hapo. Ndio hiyo full stop ya hii wazimu tunafanyanga na
kuna point inaniwasha kuna point inaniwasha hivi
Tony na feel
kuna point inaniwasha. Let me just say it within 30 seconds as soft or as I can.
Please do.
Unajua, it's okay to support the government. We are not saying that it's illegal to support the government. Everybody has a right. Kama una feel government inakuwekea, kindly support it. But do not come in this platform, number one, to mock the people who died on the street. Kindly, we won't allow you. We won't give you space, irrespective of how noble you are, irrespective hata kama unaongea English za aina gani. We don't care. You cannot come in this place and belittle the sacrifice that people made. Hiyo tutakubali manze. So having said this,
okay, I feel one thing. Let me say something. I'll interrupt. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Something niende. So I think this guy ame succeed na agenda yake. Because the guy just came aka distract the whole thing. Amekoroga watu vichwa, amemwa kichwa, amejam, and now in the next 1 hour we will discuss that guy and discuss about Ruto and government again. Because tumejam mbaya. So I think alitujibu swali alisema all other platform on TikTok akubalianga kupanda. Okay? But because I think they know that maybe distraction tactic yenye utumia. So amekuja hapa ametusumbua sasa wakijam. I think Dawa, I don't know if I'm supposed to be telling you what to do. I'm giving rules because it's not my platform, but between UDA and ODM, There's no, you can never find an Uda guy meeting za ODM. Ati Rawa kwa pale anasema so tunaingia maandamano, then someone from Muda inside their meeting anamwambia unajua hapana Ruto ni mzuri. It can never happen. So I think we should not even allow anyone who is on the opposing side, that means supporting the government, to even speak here. Tusikubali cause you ni katu nampea platform to distract. The same way those guys in their meeting awananga one supporting like the enemy, we should make sure hakuna mtu support the government here on this platform. Hii ni chama na ni chama ya opposition. So anyone who support government, please go to your home, talk to your own parents, supportini serikali, mwanze your own chama ya kusupport serikali. And I think kuna platform ya kusupport serikali which is UDA. So tafadhali naomba watu wangu, najua mmejam vibaya sana, mdomo na kichwa, najua moto wa moshi na mapua sababu ya kukasirika, na waomba tafadhali, let's bury whatever thing may happen hapa. Let's proceed to looking for ways to solve our country. Tafadhali hebu tulieni wale, hata mimi nimejam mbaya, but let's forget about that ugly anyway.
Distraction. Thank you so much, guys.
About IBC. Let's jump to IBC. That's a waste of our time.
I want to take a moment and appreciate all the gatekeepers here ambao mmekuja na mka-respond. It means a lot to know that there are people who believe, not we believe as the work media, that you are here for good governance. Kwa kutuma request, I cannot accept. Tumesema hivi, go where you resonate with. Kama hapa si ujumbe si wako, tafadhali toka and uende kabisa. I was quick to interject him at that time, but I just dropped because of, I was quick to interject him. We don't have to listen to the end of what someone is saying. The moment you just hear the spirit behind it, be quick to counteract. Anyway, someone who has an agenda ya IBC tunafanya nini sasa?
Hello.
Na donga tunakuona pia. Kaa tu hapo utamwitwe pia wewe. Hello TikTok.
TikTok sarcastic. Welcome.
Thank you. So, your emotions are high, and I understand the reason. You have been spooked by a guy who was calling himself Dio or something, which is okay because their presence here indicates that they fear whatever is happening on these platforms as social media, because it has emerged to be a new frontline. Siku hizi hakuna kamukonji yenye Kamodho walikuwa wanasema, those who are old, walikuwa wanasema ni political slaughterhouse. Now the new political slaughterhouse ni TikTok. And they know it's a force to reckon with. And it's also understandable in any uprising a mobilization for a new change. There are always people I call collaborators or happy slaves, because it's a society, it's allowed. But the good thing they are not a risk. They are not a risk in the sense that you are dealing with a generational grievance. You are dealing with a generation grievance. Now I'm talking about 30+ million people who are now sharing a common vision, a common interest, and they are out there for a greater good. Wamesema enough is enough to ethnic politics, to corruption, and to poor governance. There is no government that can be able to break that spirit. Hii si wakati ya industrial revolution in 1600 Britain, when at that time Brito under the second King Henry na Dan Smith came up with laws of exporting extra labor. Saizi hakuna hiyo space ati ya kuexport watu into US or their colonies. Sasa ni watu wako kwa nchi yao, they deal with their own issues. How do you handle that kind of force? Hata wakituma nani in these platforms, it won't work. The only thing that will work is for them now to prepare for transition or to do whatever they are being asked to do. Miaka ya kupanga watu imeisha. Now you are dealing with people who are educated, people who are well aware of what is happening. Ukienda kwa church upeane 10 million wanaona. Ukienda majuu ushikwe na pesa huko, wanaona mnakula pesa, mna mismanage resources. You know, Moi used to put people into an iron curtain kind of policy, especially when it comes to communication. Anazima TV the whole day, atawasha jioni. The only thing mna watch ya kwanza ni vitimbi, then mna watch je huu ni ungwana, then mna watch vioja mahakamani. Hakuna kitu ya na KBC was the order of the day. Mnasoma script yenye wanataka muone. Saizi watu wako enlightened. Watu wako enlightened. How do you deal with such a generation? Hakuna formula ya kudeal na wao. So ni kuendelea kuagitate for change, muendelee kueducate watu wengine, tugoje 2027 tuone. Tuone kama wataweza. Anyway, thank you. I don't have much to say. Thank you.
And on that note, tuko na consent moto tunapanga before the year ends. We are still going to inject. Tumesema 2025 ni the year of injecting, of maandamano. Tutachosha this enemy who is Ruto. And when you say Ruto, it's the whole system, because when you become president, you dictate every other branch of parliament. And we have seen him dictating every other whatever. So tunasema hivi, we are going to keep chanting. Popote unatusikiza wewe William Samoei Ruto, we are going to chant Ruto must go paka uende. Paka uanguke kwa hiyo kiti, hatutachoka, hatutalala. It's very spiritual. That's why we elewi, because it's beyond us, it's beyond you, it's the spirit speaking. It's time for the spirit. So long we have been under oppression, it's time for us to be free. No matter how long it will take. Hata some of us might not see. Ebu wajiulize, which side are you? Seeing this revolution coming to fulfillment or not seeing it? So if you see it to the end, believe it is there and it's already here. Anyway, thank you guys for always coming to Dark Media. Hapa tunaongea matters of good governance. Here we know what we stand for, and I'm so grateful that I can see some minds we can bank on. We are doing great stuff. Keep supporting us. Thank you.
Nani anaongea? Collins ama niongee? Go ahead.
Kwanza tafadhali. Ongea kwanza.
Okay. Kuna kitu nitasema.
Alafu mpatie huyu mtu mwenye ameingia hapa anajiita Moses. Moses, umekaa hapa. Hebu kwanza tumsikie. Tusikie hapa tuko na nini. Moses, how are you?
I'm very fine.
Hey, umemute sana.
Najaribu kuwasikiza. I'm still najaribu kusikiza because I'm new here. Nimekuwa nikiwasikiza for long, na najaribu nipate context on whatever
so far. Let's hear your mind so far with whatever we have spoken.
Actually, there's nothing to celebrate about this government. The government is so oppressive. The government is doing things the way it wants. Hakuna kitu tunaweza furahia about this government. Serikali imebaki 2026, it's all about politics. 2027 ndio hiyo tunapiga kura. So the guy is sitting, yani amekalia IBC ni kama the bad thing ni moja, IBC must be there. Hata saizi ukiangalia topic yenye inaendelea kwa Citizen TV, they are discussing about IBC. We don't have that. Kuna constituencies zingine, wards zingine hazina legislators, hazina MCS. The guy doesn't care, Anyway, let him do what he does. Anajua vile anafanya. He has the ideas. He is the alpha and omega. Let us just wait. The bad thing with Kenyans is that when that time comes, they will vote in jokers. Kenyans will vote in jokers. Gachagua was bad when he was in government. Now he's a darling to the people. That's all.
I've not heard any line.
Hey.
I'll be very quick. I need you to understand that Sasa, the Kenyans that were voting in jokers are 30% of the population. Some of them still try to insist in the same tribal grounds But you need to understand there's a different thing that's happening. It's a revolution. We are overthrowing the social order. It's a revolution. It will not be the same, and I truly believe, because I didn't vote, most of the people that were on those streets didn't vote, but never again. Now those are the biggest freedom fighters you will find. It's going to be different. I can promise you that. Just believe that we, the voters, are way much stronger than who we are voting for. We own the space. Kenya is ours. Tunatafuta wafanyikazi. It is not the other way around. And we know that for a fact. So, ukitafuta mfanyikazi, do you go begging? Do you go say, no, this person will say who will be my mfanyikazi? No, you decide for yourself. We are the biggest force that exists. Kenyan youth, you are 35 people and below. You're 70% of the population, according to the last census, I think in 2019. You're 35 and below, you're 70%. It's going to be different. The people that were sleeping and not going to vote like me are the biggest force now. It's going to be different. Itabadilika.
Itabadilika tu ikiwa watu watachukua kura, and the guy knows, he knows that he opens IBC na I open registration ya new voters. Let me tell you, si ati huyu jamaa ajui, anajua, he knows all those tricks. That is why the guy amechukua IBC akaiweka kama yake. It's his property. We need it, we should be agitating. Lazima tusukume serikali kwa ukuta, atupatie commissioners, wafungue voter registration such that na sisi youths inatakana tuambie fellow youths wenye hawana, in fact hata kuingia kwa lecture hall you must produce your voting card, so that when this revolution, the so-called revolution, we should not go to the streets, we should use our votes na tupige kura such that kiasi yenye hata mtu akifikiria kuiba hana hiyo space ya kuiba. Lazima tuimizane sisi wa Kenya, tuambiane, let us solve our problems at the ballot, not at the streets, at the ballots, and we change the whole perception about voting and leaders, because our viongozi wamenunuliwa wote. We have no opposition, we have nothing. It is now the church and the media that's imebaki kama opposition, because the politicians wameenda into bed, yani ni merry-go-round. We have nothing like leaders. Our wote ni quacks. Hakuna mtu mwenye tutasema ati ni kiongozi hapa. Wote wanapigia yani Ruto akikunywa chai, akiinua kikombe, wote wanataka wainue kikombe, because amekuwa Mungu. Unaona? He is the Alpha and Omega. And
hello everyone.
Yes, Afi.
May I have different perspective on Kenyan politics. I think it's time we let military do something
tap the
about
screen,
our
guys.
politics.
Go ahead, Safi.
Okay, I was saying, I was saying it's time. I think Kenya should go for a military kind of government. Like, we are tired of these politicians. You see, we need discipline, and I think kama tunaweza pata a proper military government inaweza to enforce discipline, so that you see, these politicians are all greedy about feeding their belly. Like, there is no one. Sai tuseme tunataka kuvote, juu tunasema tuna vote against Ruto, right? We are voting against the government and whoever is there. So who is next? Tunaenda kupeana nani? So unaona, hatuna hata mse mmoja mwenye tunaweza sema we can trust and we are going to vote for this guy and this and this and this, wenye wanaweza enforce, like wanaweza fanya system yetu ianze kurun to normalcy. Unaona, I think it's time we deserve discipline. Na hii discipline for a few countries zenye najua, leave alone African countries mingi zenye zimeran na military. Let's go like kitu kama Russia right now. Russia iko a military government, like Putin himself amekuwa under discipline. You see these guys, apart from kuwa wana protect inchi yao, wametrain to that discipline ya like this is for mwananchi, this is for my inchi. But for the politicians, they're all about feeding their belly. We cannot, sahi hatuwezi sema tunaweza pata anyone, hata tukisema tunaenda kuvote 100%. Tell me one person mwenye mtaeka hapo ama tutaeka hapo, and then after 5 years kama umse amekuwa hata maybe hana anything, after 5 years check the account ya umse, unaona. But for military, you see, the one thing yenye inakuanga ni I fight for my country. Politicians don't fight for their country, they fight for their families and their reputation, their name, their whatever, unaona. But for military, they are trained to fight for their country. So however much you are advocating for Ruto must go and what have you, you know, let's look at this. Who's going to be there next? Unaona? Me I think ingekuwa poa kama tungepata tu like general mmoja ageuze serikali for once. Aseme tu anatuwekea hata kafyu, hata kama tutaingia kwa hao 6 iko sawa, lakini atutengeneze inchi. Akishatengeneza inchi, after 5, 10, 20 years we can go back to now this politics stuff. Juu atakuwa ishakuwa aligned. Look at Russia right now. I'll take it as a good example. Putin has been there for like 20, 30 years, close to 30 years now. But angalia, Russia economy yao is stable hata ikipigwa vita na the NATO na nini. The economy is still good. Apart from that, hakuna Russia natai sema ati America, sijui I love America, I love what, unaona. Huyu jamaa amejenga nchi yake as much as yeye ni dictator, amejenga nchi. But sisi tunaenda kupigia mtu kura, mtu mwenye ametoka look at Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger. They are growing. But sisi tumeenda kupigia mtu kura, mtu anatudanganya amekuwa kiuza mayai, instead amekuwa kiba all along. Hakuna mayai unaweza uza ukue billionaire within 20 years. Hakuna. This person amekuwa kiba all along. Alianza kuiba na watu wa mayai until today. We're still voting him in. Unaona? Hii kliki yote, the Railas, the Rutos, the Nini, the Uhurus, hii kliki yote ni hawezi. These people are just there to feed their belly. But sasa, hao ndio watu tumekuwa wakikuja street tena 2027, utapata tu maybe Uhuru amefund mtu, amemweka hapo. Ruto amefund mtu juu maybe mnampiga vita, amemweka hapo. Mkimpea, it's still the same guy running the country. Unasikia? So I have a feeling, okay, not only a feeling. As for me, I think it's better to ile military kind of leadership. To come, Kenya hatutakuwa tunaona Burkina Faso. Jia nini? This guy is not even greedy for money. Jamaa anajua Kenya nafanya, unaona? Yeah, hapo siwezi uza mayai bana hata 30 years ukue billionaire. You cannot. Hao sasa wamekuwa wakitudanganya all along na watakuja 2027, and trust me. Yes, we are tunakuja na hii resistance and all this, but 2027 hao watu ndio watasimama ndo watapita kura, whether tutawavotia ama hatutawavotia. Jia nini? Say look, IBC 3 years down the line, IBC hakuna. So tunaenda kuvote na nini? Kama wezi eka IBC, tutavote na. And the next thing, like hata tukisema okay, Genz now we are rising up na nini, wanakuja wanatuchukua, wanatuhonga. Look at sahi hatuna activist hata mmoja wa maana. However much tunasema Genz, we don't have leaders. We don't. Wale watu wenye walikuwa wanapiga kelele kwa mtandao wamepewa milioni 2, milioni 3. Ukikataa unaenda unapigwa kidogo, unapewa milioni, unakubali pesa, unaacha nini. So we don't have no one. How about just military ifanye tu take over, maybe turudi street Me, I was hoping hiyo wakati tulikuwa street, hata mimi nilikuwa street, tungekaa tu street vizuri, military choke na umse, like tulikuwa tu one step for military takeover, na akakuwa mjanja akatubadilishia general. So how about we go back to the street? After tume go back to the street, let the military do their thing. Military au huchoka, they are not paid by the government anyway. So hao huchoka, akifika time waone mazee uweze rani gavas watakutoa. However hata si lazima kuwa general. Burkina Faso haikuchenchiwa na general, ni vijana huko chini chini wanachoka, wanasema now we want to take this thing, unaona. So how about sisi turudi kwa street? Tukisharudi kwa street tutauliwa, sikatai, watu 100, 200, even 1,000, even 10,000. 10,000 ni namba Israel inaua kila siku huko nini, wakituficha namba zingine. So hao si watu wengi, watu wa tens of thousands. But after that military take over, like 5-10 years down the line, wakiamua kuteka good direction, we cannot be speaking about politicians. Politicians are just businessmen. So for me, I'm just arguing to that point. Sijui kama nimewachoma ama nini, but I don't think tunaweza chagua mtu wa maana hii Kenya. I don't think so. I'm done.
Thank you. Wacha mimi pia niongeze kidogo. Military
Yes, take over Lord Pat.
Thank you so much. I'm also talking again. Now, if we talk of Genz were good. Genz are a product of Kebaki's government. Lakini sahi, unaona kama huyu mtu amekuja kwa education, amefanyia nini? Will we get any more educated like Genz? Hii group yenye Uhuru ameacha kidogo kama wanaenda university, amewafanyia nini? See, they are out, they have dropped out. Sasa unaona, who will reason? Unaona hiyo rationale inaisha. Because ameona, hiyo bado ni 48 laws of power anatumia. Nikisomesha hao watu, watakuja kunisumbia. And no government would want an educated population if the government is poor. Poor governance will only work with poorly educated population. Sasa ukiangalia vizuri, Genz amuko wengi, millennials pia wenye pia tulibenefit kwa education za Kibaki. Atuko wengi. Mimi hata naweza kumbuka kuna mtu age yangu. Mimi sasa nilikuwa napata employment ndio anaanza form 1. Kwa sababu Kibaki aliweka education for free. Sasa mtu kama huyo anaweza reason. Lakini hii group yenye haisomi vizuri sasa. Mimi ni mwalimu, naona vizuri syllabus vile inakaa. Ni vitu za ujinga zinawekwa kwa syllabus. Unaenda kwa CBC training. Mnafunza ujinga, mkuja kufunza watoto. Mna pump hizo vitu kwa brains za watoto. The government is always right. Administration is always right. Hiyo sasa ni social studies unafunza class 8. Sasa kisha the government is always right. Hii mambo ya government by the people for the people ni kama inalegezwa kiasi. Ukiangalia vitabu vizuri. Sasa the government is always right inamaanisha education ikiwa poor. Any group yenye inatoka nyuma, Genz watamalizwa na millennials wenye wamesoma vizuri hao wataisha. Wakishaisha inamaanisha government baya itaendelea tu. Alafu sasa ningependa kuomba hao the work media please, hebu mtufanyie research, alafu mtupatie report. Tujue population ya wenye wamesoma vizuri ni wangapi, who can have a clear mind rationale. Wenye wanaweza ingia hata kwa politics of nini. Hii politics, geopolitics yenye tunafanya. Kwa sababu kama hauna hawa watu kwa mind, nataka utoe sababu si wanatushtua kila mara, wanatuuza wakati you know what, you cannot take away Ruto has to be there what. Hebu tufanyie tu research vizuri, alafu tuandikie tu report vizuri, acha weke kwa newspaper kama unaweza. Kuonyesha tu vizuri ati this population
below 35 years and below 70% of the population based on the last census. Does that answer you?
Yeah, that does not answer me very well because I want to know this population like the one who left there Ukwarwa or who that one. Hiyo population iko na watu wangapi? Ndio tuone hii population yenye iko, alafu hii population is it educated? Hiyo ndio kitu nauliza tena because kuna watu wako, hata mimi niko na age mates wangu. Mtu anakatwa mshahara na ananiambia itakuwa tu mzuri na anakatwa mshahara. Imagine uko na 24,000 kwa payslip. Wewe ni mwalimu wa ECD county government, alafu unakatwa 3,000 hati imeenda kwa SHA. Alafu unaniambia itakuwa tu sawa. So ukipata hii group fanya tu statistics vizuri na utuandikie report iende online, hata kama unaweka kwa TikTok tutachukua tusambaze. Alafu tena hii mambo ya IBC tunaweza anza kutengeneza cartoons tuweke IBC ikiwa kwa ICU, tuweke IBC ikiwa iko kwa ward, tuweke IBC inazikwa siku gani, vitu kama hizo, yani if inaweza fikia hawa watu wenye wako chini. Alafu post yetu isiwe tu kwa TikTok. Many people don't even go to TikTok. Naona wengi hata karibu my age wako tu ati they only go to TikTok to dance, wanaona watu wana dance, sijui mtu anaimba sijui nyimbo gani. Yani hakuna education inaendelea hata kwa TikTok, ni wachache sana. Na ukiona mtu anaingia kwa TikTok na anaingia kwa forums kama hizo, jua mtu akona education kiasi. Wengi wenye wanaingia kwa hizo topics za sijui husband, sijui what vitu kama hizo. Many do not discuss what we really need. Thank you.
I think naweza malizia kidogo just to touch on what
hapo nachangia 100%.
The poor guy
I think acha tu nimalizie before nishuke. Nilikuwa nataka kusema like you see
kitu amesema pia sisi wote.
I think the poor guy, you have a problem with your network. Let Isafi finish. Meanwhile, check your network. You're breaking.
Kuna kitu moja watu elewi. You see, it's not about ni wangapi wako educated. There's one thing I always say. Education is a brainwash. Education is a brainwash. So education tu ni wenye wanaweza tumia sahi kutumanipulate, unaona? So it's not all about how many people are educated, but it's about ni wangapi wanafikiria, unaona? There's someone mwenye yuko educated but is capable. Leadership is never about education, by the way. So the reason as to why mimi nimetumia military, we both know most military guys ni form 4 leavers. Then watu walimaliza form 4 instead kwenda university kama wengine wetu na kupata degree zenye hazitusaidii, wamepelekwa ile training ya now to see how life is, early stages, unaona? Wanapelekwa nini ya kutumia common sense mapema. So wakati sisi tunaenda kuwa brainwashed, you go and study something that you'll never even have to, like you waste a whole 4 years. After the 8-4 you had another 4 years or 5 years or 7 years doing nothing. Hao wase wamekuwa instilled ile discipline ya kuonyeshwa now this is life. Wameambiwa kwanza life has kuna konga na life na death. Wameshaonyeshwa kuna apart from living you can die, right? So wamepewa basic life formula enye ina apply to everyone, and that is the discipline they use, unaona? Na hawa say wako na leadership skill noma sana kuliko most of us who are educated. For example, Wajakoya sijako na degree sijui 20 what ama sijui nini, but that guy unaona ni kama anafikiria ni kama hata ana akili, unaona? But you can't find someone mwenye agenda shule anafanya kitu yenye na make sense kabisa. These are the kind of people we need, unaona? So for military Kenya nasemanga ni juu the best thing ni hawajaenda ile school system yenye tumepitia. Okay, kama kuna makadet and what have you kunao, lakini sasa most of them wana follow rules, unaona? Na zile rules zenye wanafuata si rules zimeinstiliwa kama venye sisi tumeenda tumeambiwa sijui kwa shule sijui unafaa ufanye nini na nini na nini. Hapana, rule yao number 1, protect the country, unaona? So I think tukiweza pata tu ile military government for just 5 years or 10 years, kutakuwa na lots of changes. Juu politicians are all the same. Hata mimi sasa mkinichagua kama politician mseme mumenieka MCA, MP nini, what I'll do, I'll want first of all wanakimbilia wanataka kujenga, siku hizi ni real estate. Nairobi manyumba zinamea, hizi manyumba zinamea Nairobi ni zao. Zinatoka wapi? Ukikalculate hata mshahara ya prezo 5 years for 5 years mshahara ya prezo haiwezi jenga nyumba moja Nairobi CBD, but huyu msee for like 2 months ameshajenga nyumba CBD, unaona? Ukipiga hesabu prezo ndo the only person in Kenya kwa government system mwenye ako employed under public whatever yeye ndio the highest paid 3 million. Ukipiga hesabu hata akisave 1 million monthly haizi jenga nyumba nini. But these guys wanaingia hapo na grade ni politicians anyway, they're just common people. But we need someone mwenye anaenda pale anafikiria about protecting the nation, unaona? That is what most of these countries zenye umeona zina run, they're all about protecting the nation. Even the United States hawaendangi about politics all along. Politics zinakuanga tu miezi 6 hizo ama mwaka moja ya mwisho ya nini. Lakini hizi miaka zingine Trump sasa amechaguliwa, politics down. We are going to protect our country, but hatujafikia hiyo state as a nation ya kuentrust politician for that. Now we need a military guy. I think that is what I'll stand for, a military guy to head that thing. Unaona, for example, Nairobi Metropolitan venye unye alikuwa ameka, was it Mbadi ama alikuwa nani? Huyu mse wa military mwenye alikuwa head Metropolitan before Ruto akuja scrap. Mbadi, right?
Yeah.
Just 2
That's a
years
good
after
point.
Sonko
I was also to support you using that point, but it's good you have hit.
Imagine Sonko venye alitoka tu hivi, just 2 years kabro zilikuwa zimewekwa sijui Nairobi yote. Nairobi imejengwa, Nairobi ilikuwa safi. Nairobi apart from hiyo infrastructure na nini, Nairobi ilikuwa, plan ya Nairobi ilikuwa on point. Hata huyu mtu anaitwa Sakaja, huyu mwenye mliita darling wenyu mkaeka hapo hivyo. Zama the first year ukienda CBD sasa mahoka wamejaa kila mahali. Hiyo ni CBD. Na hiyo ndo capital city ya your country. Ile enye una nini. Ukienda CBD sasa takataka hadi harufu kila mahali. Now, unaona the difference between a politician and a military. You can just use Nairobi as an example. For the past 4 years, tumeona military na politics in Nairobi. And what has happened? So, I don't think hata IBC kukuja tupige kura inaweza tusaidia. The only thing yenye mimi nafikiria inaweza tusaidia ni military takeover. Acha tupigwe viboko tuingie kwa nyumba saa 12 tutoke saa 12. But tunajua after 5 years everything itakuwa in line. Hizi ma corruption kila siku billions zinapotea. Ukisikia scandal yote kwa TV ati sijui Ruto amepigwa mawe, sijui Gachagua amefanyiwa nini, billions zinapotea. Wanawekanga hiyo scandal ndio wafiche venye billions zinapotea. Juzi nimesikia sijui wanataka kubadilisha noti. Ya nini? Wanataka kubadilisha noti ndio nini ifanyike? Meaning they have printed already the money yenye wanataka kucirculate. Wamesha print, wamejiwekea juu. They're all about making money. Hakuna mtu anataka ku make sense. Unaona? Wote wanatumia do. So mi tu nitasettle na hiyo tu. I'll go for military. Hizi mambo za kupiga kura sijui Genz tuchukue sijui kura sijui tufanye nini. Tunaenda kupiga kura na washaiba. Details zetu sasa hivi yenye tunaongea. Kama IBC italaunchiwa hata next year, jua ushapiga kura. Whatever you are going to do is nonsense. Kwenda kupanga laini ni nonsense. Kura ishapigwa. Lakini kwenda kwa barabara ina make a lot of sense. If tukienda kwa barabara for raia, trust you me, military will take over. Military ikichukua hiyo kitu, hizi nonsense za politicians itaisha. Wase wananga ile greed ati sijui anataka kujijenga wakuwe mabilionea. They all about, okay, I want to lead my country to a specific direction. Tuseme for example Gaddafi alikuwa na military personality. Alitake Libya from 0 to 100 before NATO yamue kudistract Libya. Yani, we need something of the sort.
Okay. I think the point is synced in our brain. You've explained it so much. Tupatie nafasi tuongee. Kwa sababu there are so many views. Thank you. Hamjambo nyote. Mwanzo nimefurahi kwa hiyo submission yako. And somehow it makes sense, but with the generation that we have, we cannot afford to have a military coup. What is supposed to happen is, mwanzo nataka kurudi nyuma kabla yako ile watu kuzungumza habari ya Gachagua. Yes, people are not kama mnaona wana support Gachagua. No, it is just to make a point that they are against Ruto. Whatever Ruto does, people are against him. And that is the main point that we have to understand. Anything that will make Ruto asikie vibaya, people will do. Hata tumeona juzi university when alikuwa amepeleka rambe zake, the reaction to it. So it is not about Gachagua as I've seen so many people saying amekuwa ni our darling. No, it is still the rejection of ya kumwonyesha huyu mtu, we don't love you, what you have done to our country is not acceptable. Na kitu kingine wajua, let us be wise. Sahi we are just mambo mengi tuna decide kwa mambo ya emotional. You know, we can use the katiba for our own benefits. Hii mambo ya IBC, it's supposed to be, you know, people supposed to come together and push it to the court and, you know, force the government to bring the IBC. Kwa sababu hii IBC, it is a big solution. Mimi ki maoni yangu, unajua, we don't have to wait for next election. What we can do is tuweze kutumia hii IEBC kuwatoa what do you call it, some of the MPs, senators, governors from power. This is how the last government punished some of the governors. Na umeona watu wali-align. So if sisi tutatumia the same system, wao wa-align sasa wapinge mambo ya serikali, waanze kutumikia wananchi, we can see a light on that. Unaona? So this is something that we need to know. Yani hii mambo kuleta military, it is very very risk. Kama unasema vile umesema, yani inaonyesha uzuri, lakini my brother, military ikishika serikali, wachana na mambo ya curfew. My friend, tutasafa. We need to improve our economy. We need to improve by making our country 24 hours working. Vitu kama hizo. So kijana, think about it. Najua mtu mmoja amefanya labda under supervision ya mtu mwingine. Tusione ati ni kuwa it's gonna be like that. No. Let us have the same system, but now plan properly. Vipi tutaweza hii katiba yetu itusaidie? When we get to know how our katiba can help us, then my friend, hao wanaituchezea wanaona atakuwa wakiingia katika serikali wakishapewa nafasi ya wakilishi, the untouchable itaondoka. That is my submission. Thank you.
Haya. Moses, back to you then. The bro man. You still got another box there. If there is somebody who wants to kuchukua your box akuja.
Thank you. Nimesikia kijana vile amesema we go the military way. But remember, we are still under bondage kwa sababu we are still a colony of Britain. And in whatever things we do, they were on an upper hand over us, because up to now we don't know where the title deed of Kenya is. It is maybe, I'm getting some feedback. Yeah, thank you. Siezi hatujui title deed ya Kenya inalai wapi. Hatujui kama iko State House, hatujui kama iko Britain, hatujui kama iko wapi. So the military way, we can go that way. But ask yourself, what are the repercussions? Because right now, the system that you are using, it is the people that are governing themselves, not the military that is governing the people. Because when the military come in, it's only when the people have gone on rampage. That is, they've chased away the government. Now the military takes over for some time until things cool down. Then they return back the government to the people. And it might take ages. Inaweza chukua miaka until normalcy is returned. Na hatuwezi jua whoever will take over as a military guy anaweza kuwa na roho mbaya kuliko hata Ruto. So the best thing is that let us, amongst the politicians that are there, let us select just ule shetani mwenye at least tunamjua. Because right now as you are talking, ninaona political realignment imeanza kufanywa. Like these people are trying to test the waters. Mimi, what according to me, niki judge from yesterday, where Raila came na akasema vijana nataka mchukue mantle at ODM is going to form the government come 2027. I think whatever happened in America, where Trump came back, they want to replicate that. Wanataka kuficha Ruto for some time, courtesy of Raila. Then Ruto comes back 2032. Naona kitu kama hiyo inajaribu kuchezwa. And mark you, we have no choice. It is either Raila or Ruto. And in Kenyan politics, hakuna mtu mwingine ataemerge. Hata Okiya Mtata amejaribu kukuja. Okiya Mtata is very sane, unaona. But given chance tuambiwe pigeni kura, let me tell you, between Okiya Mtata and Ruto, people still elect Ruto.
Which
Kwa
people?
sababu, okay.
Is it the church? Is it the Kalenji? Who will elect Ruto?
Kenyans.
Kenyans, which ones? Which
Yeah,
ones? The ones
Kenyans.
crying about new funding models, the ones crying about shit. Which
Please
Kenyans?
give me time. Don't be
Will elect
agitated.
Ruto? Stop threatening
No.
us with this shit.
I'm
Because
not
you keep
threatening you.
us.
That is
Oh,
my
people will
opinion.
elect Ruto. Which ones?
That is my opinion.
Which ones?
That is
The church has literally rejected his money. The people, the strongholds. He was having a stronghold of maybe the tribal one, the gay. Are you seeing what Rift Valley is doing? They are chanting Ruto must go every opportunity. The people that were not voting are saying Ruto must go. Which people are you threatening us with? Which
I'm not
Kenyans?
threatening you.
The parents
I'm
that are
not
losing
threatening.
children
What I'm
every
trying to
day.
tell you is, can you
No,
listen?
you can't keep telling us
Listen,
people
please.
will vote for Ruto and you can't say which people.
Listen.
You have to say which people.
Okay, the other time, back in 2022, Uhuru told us, Kenyans, that Mutalia, we are now crying. Who elected Ruto? Was it not Kenyans? Was it not Kenyans?
Si Rao saizi wako na Ruto
Tulikuwa
pamoja.
na
Sasa
option ya
tungevote
Wajakoya.
nani?
Tulikuwa na option ya Wajakoya. Why didn't you vote for Wajakoya? Why didn't you vote for your
Kwa sababu
Wajakoya?
alisema tupande bangi.
Yeah?
Anyway, alisema tupande bangi.
Bangi is just a weed. Unaona? Every weed in the shamba is just a weed. But look, ukiangalia vizuri, it becomes a flower.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
There's one thing. Sisi wote ni Wakenya hapa na tunaumia pamoja. Hakuna mwenye alichagua Ruto au kuchagua Ruto, tunaumia all of us. Ukiangalia Kenya,
we voted for Ruto.
Let me
voted
finish
for him.
1 minute, Moses. 1 minute. Tukiangalia one day tulisaidia Singapore. I've been to Singapore. Na saizi Singapore na Kenya ni kama usingizi na kifo. Right? What we need, there's some countries, hata kubeba mimba ukiwa mwanamke unalipwa. Kubeba tu mimba, mtoto analipwa. Mtoto anaenda shule mpaka penye atafikisha. And that's what we want. Kuna medical. That's what we want as a Kenyans, yeah? Si story na mtu wetu alitufanyia akaenda akashuka, because the end of the day these people, they are not suffering. Their kids wako huko story. Mtoto akimaliza anapelekwa majuu, right? Wewe mwananchi wa kawaida ndio sisi tunaumia. Kitu kingine nitasema,
Do you know how much those people watu wameumia ndio wafikie hiyo?
Wacha nimalize. Tushaisaidia Thailand, Singapore. Kitu kingine na army, tukiangalia kuna time kulikuwa kumebomiwa Westgate na army ndio walienda kuokoa watu. Ukiona zile tabia walikuwa wanafanya, wanaiba mpaka mali za wananchi. So hatuwezi jua nani atashika serikali. Kwa maoni yangu naweza taka mtu mpya aekwe, tuone kama kutakuwa na mabadiliko, because hao watu wote wanajua na wenyewe. They eat same plate.
Can I talk?
Good, you can.
Yeah.
Someone else will ask you to speak.
Okay. Lava God, let me give Alex. Then I give you an opportunity. Alex.
Okay. That's fine.
Yes. Waja mimi niongee hapa kidogo.
Raise your voice bana.
Yes, mahali Kenya tunafika tunahitaji utendaji kazi wa mtu. Sio mambo na hawa wanasiasa tumechoka na wao, tumechoka na Raila kutoka miaka yote tuongee na yeye. Tumechoka na yeye. Wacha tupewe watu kama Matiang'i nafasi wafanye kazi.
Is it because Matiang'i is a kissy like you?
No, it's not because Matiang'i is a kissy like me.
Why? Siata ukiwa mtata amesimama.
No, Moses, you are profiling. How can Moses? That is out of order. We withdraw. That's profiling. You're profiling Alex.
Yeah, can I talk now?
Yes, love God.
The truth is bitter.
No, okay, me for me, I just wanted to talk a little about when you wameongea about.
Can I contribute, guys?
Wait, I'm talking.
Love God, then Beros.
Yeah. So for me, I would just want to add on when you were so much in belief that we can get new leaders who have never been in politics before and they can do something. Remember, tumekuwa tukidanganywa saa yote na Raila ati yeye ni opposition leader for so long. Nothing amekuwa akituonyesha yenye ingeweza kuenlighten about how the government is wrong, kama venye tumeonyeshwa na Morara. Morara amekuja for a short time, but ameweza kutuexpose so many things that zimekuwa pesa zikikwama, of which hatukuwa tunajua. Yes, Raila alikuwa anataja, anasema kina Waiguru wameiba and all that, but the reality of the matter is we did not okay, maybe mtu anaweka napata nini feedback. So me, what I would suggest is Kenyans, we can believe in ourselves and we can believe in change. Change inaanzanga na mtu. And it does not mean because the past has happened, things cannot change. They can change if we decide we want to start change. The same thing hata venye tunakuanga na families. There are families for so long unapata hakuna daktari, hakuna mwalimu. Then all of a sudden ka generation kanazaliwa kanakuwa kamekuwa daktari. Kana break all that generational curse. That is the same thing we are supposed to do as Kenyans right now. Tumekuwa na bad politicians when you wanna dictate everything that is gonna happen in Kenya, but it has been happening in the wrong way. But we can decide and say, you know what, Genz, we have said from now on, we don't want to see bad governance anymore. We can elect anybody, hata mtu hakuwa kwa politics, as long as akona passion na anajua ni nini anataka kufanyia Kenya. Kenya can be run. Hairaniwi na midomo za politician. Kenya inafaa kuraniwa na constitution. The same way that unaona hizi nchi zingine. The same way kama sasa I'm in America and I can tell you for sure. Politics huku hazibebangu venye tunazibeba Afrika. Because every politician kabla akuje aseme anataka kukua a mayor or anything, ni lazima table out everything yenye iko kwa constitution, what atafanya upon that. But politics za Kenya, if we look at whatever happens, tunakujanga tu kuambiwa huku nje na mapolitician, nitajenga barabara, nitajenga hii. Question inafaa kuwa ile barabara ninajenga inafaa ya kutoka hapa na kufanya nini na itatoka wapi pesa? Those are the questions as Kenyans we were supposed to be asking our politicians, but we don't. Why? Because tumezoea politics ya mdomo. So for those that are still not believing that we can change Kenya by having new politicians, please change your mindset. Wacheni kutupeleka hizo enzi zenye tushatoka. Tushajua pesa imekuwa ikibiwa na imekuwa ikibiwa in what way. Now we don't want any other further pesa kuibiwa tena. We want our country to move forward from there. That's my take.
Thank you. wacha na mimi ni contribute kidogo wenzangu. Thank you so much. I'm getting a lot of good vibes from you guys. There's this brother who talks about military takeover. Our sisters talked about us not looking for a new politician, but looking for a way to change. My 2 cents. Kitu ya kwanza, in Kenya, DNA of our politicians is just they go there for themselves. You know, I am in a Western country right now. People who have money here are footballers, owners of clubs, owners of big hotels and kind of facilities. But in Kenya, people who have money are politicians. So it means that people take politics so that they can go steal and become rich. That's the main objective in Kenya. So, sisi ndio shida. Sisi, you and me, we are the problem. Why do we elect these people? You unajua mtu kabisa DNA yake ni mwizi. Ruto has been in court so many cases, Western Hotel, all those things. But we went ahead and elected him. So, we are getting what we put in. So, the first thing, mimi na wewe, let's increase, brothers, this civic education to our people, tuambie, tafadhali. Hawezi, wacheni kuwapea kura. Choose one of you. Mayouth ndio wengi sahi in Kenya. Why don't you choose one of you to be a leader? Why don't you choose one of you to be a local representative, MP, women rep, all those? You don't have to have kids as a woman for you to be a women rep. Let some youth stand up and get this seats, because some people like Nyamu are doing nonsense in parliament. That's very important. Second point, education, health, businesses are dead in Kenya right now. Why? Because of the people we put in. They have stolen everything. They have destroyed education. They have destroyed health, and your future and the future of your children is in a bad state right now, unless we do something. So for me, I would say, please guys, accept to take chance. Even if it means a military guy comes and takes over, fine. Let's take chance even with a military guy. Even if it means we are going to fight for Murara. I know the constitution doesn't allow him to go for presidency, but can't we change that constitution to allow him? Look at the country of this young guy called Traore. Traore is a military guy. The country is progressing. They used to say their minerals.
Constitution, but 2010 constitutions arouse Morara. Morara is qualified.
Is allowed to go for it?
Yes.
Yeah. Then wise guy, why don't you support one of your own? You know, stop this nonsense. Even before, even this Ruto was being told he cannot make it. Remember how Atoli was telling him to go and uproot trees so that he cannot, nyonga himself. Support this young man, please. People read in our heads that he cannot, he doesn't have money, he cannot. We have the power. So you guys, what do we do from here? Please, me, what I will say as a closing point, increase the civic education. What you are doing here, this is what we need. Secondly, encourage youths to go for their IDs and go for their voting cards. Hata wakiiba namna gani. When Kibaki came in, they stole. I assure you, Moi stole as much as he could, but he could not win. So don't believe in those things. Go forward with this kind of motto. Let us get these bad guys out of governance. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good. Yusuf.
Yes.
Moses, let Yusuf say something, then I'll still pass the mic to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm greeting all of you. I could have suggested that if these people we do elect, nobody is carrying any accountability, because what we are lacking is accountability, and it's somebody to account the president and the people we elect. Now, on the other hand, if you say the military is maybe more worse. According to my suggestion, military may be worse than this, but we can change the regime through balloting. There are people who deserve, who can do this work these people are doing, and better than even those who are in power. Therefore, I could have suggested that instead of coup, let's change leadership through voting. Thank you very much.
May I reply, Yusuf, please? Yusuf, thank you. May I reply you? I'm also opting for
Yusuf is
just
gone.
risk, because I'm saying that sometimes that when we are almost drowning in the lake, when the boat is almost drowning, we will catch on anything, even a small piece of grass in the lake to help us. So we don't need to fear change. Change is inevitable, and time has reached for change. So don't scare us that I don't know the military will be bad. We don't care. And when you eat anything, things are bad. They are bad. They are bad. Even now, I'm bad. I cannot afford 2-3 meals in a day. So it is the same. Whether I try a military, I'm just trying. Like, even if I'm married, I've failed marriages. It will not ban me from marrying. I will try another man. Try and try. So it's a matter of try and error. Thank you.
But I think we tujafika to that point ya kunid army at the moment, because we still have power na imekuwa ikichange. The only thing we can do is for us to push it as a Kenyans. Kwanza hii story ya IBC. Hii IBC kwanza before hata tuchague vile tunataka, hiyo IBC imewekwa tayari.
I have a very different opinion. My opinion is, we have the big 4 tribes: the Kalenjin, the Kikuyus, the Jaluos, and the Luyas. These people have ruined our country. Let us not vote for anything coming from that tribe. Those 4 tribes: the Luyas, ikiongozwa na Atuoli na Mudavadi, the Luos ikiongozwa na Raila, the Kikuyus ikiongozwa na Rigathi Gachagua na kina Uhuru, the Kalenjin ikiongozwa na let us vote for a Somali. Let us try a Somali, hata kama ni Al-Shabaab. Let us try it. That is my opinion.
Moses, okay, mimi wacha nikujibu kwa maoni yangu. Haijalishi mwenye atachaguliwa. As long as ule mtu atakuja, because si watu wote wabaya. Ule mtu atakuja akiwa na nia nzuri ya kusaidia Wakenya. I think ndio inaweza kwa maoni yangu.
Watu tumewajaribu wote. We've had 3 Kikuyus, we have 2 Nandis. Kikuyus,
Moses.
The only, yeah.
Moses, thank you for your submission. Yeah, I think you have a point. But then the thing is, we had that case when the people were voting against one tribe. And then remember how Ruto was saying, hey, it doesn't matter, I'm a Kalenjin. What matters is what I can offer to the country. My rebuttal to you is that, it's not about tribes. It's about an individual who can change the country. If we go tribes like, okay, we can just vote for Somalia, we can vote for who. It's a person who can change the country regardless where he comes from. Because if we go that way, we can't change anything. Because if we say, okay, we have voted for big tribes, we have tried, and then we have not seen the change. What if they're going to change, say, okay, it's against the small tribes? So what I can say is, wacha tuungane, tusahau mambo ya ukabila, tuseme sisi ni wa Kenya, kwa maana and leaders, and even Ruto himself, I don't think even the current are happy like Ruto is a president now, they have everything. I don't think so. Inauma kila mmoja, and let's change that one. Regardless who is coming, we have to look at this person, what can he offer?
Hello guys. Naomba niongeza tu kidogo. So my take, this brother is talking about us trying a Somalia or trying, I don't know, a Kisi, trying, I don't know, whoever. It doesn't matter who comes in as president. What matters is, I feel that the first point of contact should be, does this person have the interest of the country in their hearts? The way, okay, for my assessment, I can say that Okiya Mtata has been fighting for Kenyans, has been fighting for against bad governance, and we all know that. A person like Murara, who just came up recently, You guys, you have convinced us. This is the guy. The Gen Zs have convinced us. Even me, I get my 2-week pay slip. I put my $10 and send to him because I'm told this guy is doing the right thing. So I just want you guys to believe in yourselves. I know you can change Kenya. This generation X and the millennials failed to change the country. They continuously voted for this bad governance. Now, Gen Zs, you have the mantle. Don't be, be cheated or be called to think that you cannot do it. I believe in you, you can. Go forward. If you choose Morala, let us go with that guy to the end. If you choose Omtata, let's go with that guy to the end. Vile sister alisema, we are trying. It is a try and error. But you cannot go back to the same choice you made, which was wrong, and say that I just want to try, maybe the person will change. No, he won't. DNA yake ni mwizi. Hey, look at, let me tell you, even across the country, go even to Somaliland, people like Kinaduale, those guys are corrupt. I have lived in Garissa and I know what they do. I have been in Mombasa, people like Kinajo, those guys are corrupt. So don't believe in these millennials and Generation X guys. I think those guys had their chance. They have eaten the country down. They need no more chance. Move to the next generation. That's my take. Thank you.
Kuna kitu nataka kusema. History ya tribal, even though tunasema lazima tujijue kwenye tumetoka. Yes, tunajijua kwenye tumetoka, lakini tunapaswa tujue sisi wote ni wa Kenya na tunaumia the same. Haijalishi kwenye umetoka. The only thing we come together as a Kenyans. Sisi wote ni wa Kenya na tunataka mtu mwenye tunachagua, na wale watu tunaona pia ni wazuri. Tunaomba kama inawezekana, kama wanaweza jiunga wote pamoja. Hata leo wanaweza sema huyu atakuwa deputy president na huyu mwingine atakuwa president. Kama inaweza kuja wote pamoja, the people that we can see wanaweza tusaidia kutoka kwa hii shida.
The earlier the better. Mimi hata nawaambia mapema ni mapema. Kama mimi nishaamua, mimi napiga na Kebaso. Nimekuwa by the way na tournament guys kubwa sana kule Trans Nzoia. Sasa tunapanga ingine hii December hapa ya Kiambu. Special guest Morara Kebaso. Anyway, guys, it have been an honor that you joined this platform kuanzia. Wengine tulikuwa na ile platform ingine 6. Huku nao tukaingia saa 2:30. Mpaka sasa imefika saa 6, imebakisha dakika kidogo ingie. Mimi naomba tufungie hapo. Hii siasa ya Kenya tuweke kabisa.
Dawak, can I end with the national pledge? I pledge my allegiance.
Yes, and I also nataka kuambia pia watu, they see the number on the screen. For those who want to support this platform, ili kesho turudi juu ya data, you can use that number alafu tuiondoe. Si ati tunaomba, we usually tell people who usually appreciate this platform. Larry Njugush, haujasema kitu. Sema kitu kimili dakika moja pia, alafu sasa hapo wafunge. Dakika moja.
Asante sana Buddha. Dennis, asante sana. And yes, you just need to support this guy called Dennis. Dennis anafanya jambo la muhimu sana. And going back to a bit of politics, vijana wangu, sisi ni mabuda. Mimi ni Buddha, mimi si kijana. Nataka niwaambie hivi, mambo ya kuleta story ya kusema sijui jeshi or we have tried to do trial and error. Kenya is not a lab. Kenya ni nchi ambayo imefanya vitu mingi already. We've just done a lot of trial and errors. Now there's no room for error. Sasa inatakana watu wafanye kitu right things. Okay, errors, we don't want errors anymore. Mambo kusema trial and error and those kind of things tuache. And watu wachague mtu ambaye atafaa, atabadilisha nchi, atabadilisha Kenya, atafanya Kenya ikuwe kama Singapore ya Africa. You get me guys? Yeah, asanteni sana kwa kunisikiza. Naona una time, ni kweli saa hii ni late. And ni kama dakika 3 bado saa 6. And ningependa kuambia good night everybody. Na tutakutana kesho tena. Asanteni sana.
That's good.
Yeah, pia mimi nimesikiza ni Larry sasa.
Ni vile hata mimi nimeingia late, but ningependa ningeanza mada na nyinyi. But nimesikia support zenyu wote mko fiti. Muhimu tu ni ile sasa tuangalie ile tukue keen. Nimesikia ni wewe ndio nimesikia umeguzia about Morala. Pia mimi napenda Morala sana. Na huwa na mfollow vitu zake zinakuwa right zote mara mingi, na natamani kama anaweza kuwa ni serious anasema hivyo na atafanya kama president. Imagine hata mimi baka nimpatie kura yangu bila kupoteza muda pale. But kama atakuwa ni wa kutu waste, hata afadhali tupatie. Mimi wanaangalia Matiang'i mara mingi anasema kitu na anahakikisha amefuatilia baadaye kama president nini pale nyuma vile alikuwa akipatiwa usukani fulani anazingatia, anafuatilia baka inafanywa. So mimi napenda sasa tuangalie president mwenye at least tumemsoma kuanzia nyuma, tukaona akisema atafanya kitu na anaizingatia baka ifanywe. So sasa tukue makini, tusidanganywe na zile pesa kidogo kidogo, asijui 100 tunadanganywa, alafu baadaye mtu anaanza kutusumbua kama vile tunasumbuliwa, unaona? So wacha kesho hii story ndawatafuta, hata mimi nimeona hii media sasa iko best na nitakuwa nafuatilia mara mingi. Na tuombee Kenya by the way sana.
Haya, wacha tumalizie na
hapo, siwache tusikia nani Rolly Pat aseme kitu alafu Rukenya then ufunge.
Okay. Thank you so much. What I can say, my last point is that we continue going on with civic education. The challenge we have is that these opposers who are brainwashed are the challenges. Even today, I got one. She's just a woman in the house. She doesn't care about these things. She's a Kalenjin, of course. I'm in the heart of Kalenjin land. But I tried to explain to her, si unaona kama watu wanakunywa chai pamoja, unaona Raila hati unaona Ruto sasa umesemanga ni opposition, si hapa 207 mlichomewa, hati tulichomewa. Sasa si umeona ni marafiki. Akaniambia yani at least aelewe, because wanafuata tu hizo TV nini, hawawezi ingia kwa hizi platform. Sasa hao ndio group tu wenye wako na shida. Sasa hiyo ndio group vile mlisema tuwaelimishe. Jaribu tu hata kama wanakuoppose. Kwanza mimi nikiwa kwa region yangu hata ukiniopose I don't care, because naweza hata kupigana. Tunaweza pigana because we are in the same place, but hapa ndio nikifanya mtu ani oppose na wachana naye because nimeogopa ni kwao. Asanteni.
Kenya.
Kenya nitasema Wakenya mjue mkichukua hizo 200, 300, aidha 500 ama 100, ukae ukijua unauza maisha yako kwa mtu mwenye ajali, kwa sababu ile time utakuwa ukipeleka mtoto shule unaanza kulipa au una pesa, huyo mtoto wake ako majuu ama anaenda kule Ogakani ama Mpisha hospitali, wewe una mahali unashinda Kenyatta umepanga line bila mtu akutibiwa. Kaa ukijua chochote unafanya saizi kwa politician, ujue ni maisha yako iko mikononi mwako na wewe ndio utajibadilisha wewe mwenyewe. Ni hayo tu.
Good. Aya, hapo ameanguka. Na niye alikuwa funge. Hapo umeangusha na nini?
Okay, basi hapa hii iko fiti. Sasa naona at least tukidozi kila mtu tuwaze kesho vizuri.
wacha nimalizie, nimerudi.
Oh, sawa.
I pledge my loyalty to the people and nation of Kenya, my readiness and duty to defend the flag of our republic, my devotions to the word of our national anthem, my life, strength and spirit in the task of building our nation, in the living spirit embodied in our national motto. National motto ni Harambee. Harambee. Kenya hawafinyangwi. Harambee. Perpetuated in our national philosophy of peace, love and unity. Hakuna ukabila hapo, tribeless, fearless. Kenya hakufinyangwi. Ndio maana ukipenya Kenya, unaendanga kila kwengine. Harambee. Ndio hiyo national pledge.
Asante.